New Image Media presents the NFHS Game of the Week. Brought to you by Crossroads Ford. Big city deals from a dealer with a hometown feel.
It's my favorite time of the year. Football is back. I would like to personally invite you to come down for your next new or pre-owned vehicle purchase. With one of the largest new and pre-owned inventories in the area, come see us today for discounts that the competition simply can't match or beat. If you drive in Sanford, why not buy in Sanford? Come see me, the deal maker. Come and get that big town deal with that small town feel right here at Crossroads Ford in Sanford.
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce. Because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. Hi, I'm David Fashee, and we are First Bank.
Pentair. Empowering people to move water, improve water, enjoy water, so that people can live their best, healthiest lives. Lives with purpose. Lives with enjoyment. Lives that flourish. Lives with hope. Because at Pentair, we're not just about better water. We're about better life. Pentair, bringing water to life, for life.
WilkinsonCars.com. Come visit us at our new location in Sanford. With the same great staff and the same great service. Test drive one of our many different vehicles. Check out our state-of-the-art service department and collision center, where our team can have you back on the road in no time. We're right across from Walmart at 3335 North Carolina 87 South. Schedule your appointment online at WilkinsonCars.com or call us at 919-842-3322. We guarantee we're the place to be at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com.
Wilkinson Chevy Cadillac Buick GMC welcomes you to the NFHS Network Game of the Week. Brought to you by New Image Media.
Welcome to the campus of J.H. Rose in Greenville, North Carolina for the first round of the North Carolina 3AA playoffs. As Lee County, normally you don't see a conference champ on the road in round one, but in a funky year, funky things happen. And here the Yellow Jackets come out here to Greenville in one of the bigger matchups in the first round of these playoffs. Mm-hmm. I'm Chris Delambert. This is Jerry Chalmers, by the way. We're kind of coming in hot. But, Jerry, talk about J.H. Rose. I know you spent a lot of time looking at them, kind of dissecting them. Talk a little bit about what Rose brings to the table.
But what I've seen offensively, quarterback definitely can scramble. Definitely have a high-caliber receiver that will he can do a lot of good things. A lot of good things.
Well, you talk about the senior quarterback, Wade Jarman, a little undersized. He's a scrappy guy. If you give him a broken field, he can get out and he can do some damage. But this team, J.H. Rose, brings a lot of speed to the table.
Yes, sir.
Led by junior tailback Michael Allen.
Yes, sir.
Keep your eyes on him all night, ladies and gentlemen. Runs a 4.34.
Yes, sir.
Has been offered by pretty much every school in the state of North Carolina. He is a well-known commodity. They'll look to get him active in a lot of different ways. They'll run the jet sweep to him. They'll run a more traditional run offense. They'll try to pass the ball to him. But he can score from anywhere on the field.
Anywhere.
And he's the guy that gets all the hype. But you and I and the Lee County coaching staff, and in my interview with Coach Will Bland of the J.H. Rose Rampants, all talked about one guy.
Mr. Hamilton.
Kevin Hamilton.
Yes, sir.
Senior wide receiver, 6'4", runs like a deer. He will hurt you in a myriad of ways on both sides of the ball. And this is a guy that kind of came from under the radar.
Right.
I looked recruiting services, everyone I could find. He's not ranked in the top 100 players in this class.
Right.
Coming out of North Carolina, and if there's 100 ball players better than Kevin Hamilton in this state, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. He can come down, play safety, comes down in the box. He causes a lot of trouble.
6'4", 200 pounds, number 3, and you'll see him on the screen. They'll try to feature him. They're going to try to get the ball to him in every way. Like I said, he'll play offense, he'll play defense, he'll return kicks if he's given the opportunity. He is indicative of what this team brings. A lot of life athletes that will run, speed everywhere. Lee County has a bit of a size advantage today. They run a more power scheme on offense in particular, and that defense is a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Now, both teams are going to play aggressive on defense. They're going to try to fill. They're going to play downhill. I got to give the edge to Lee County. This might be the best Lee County defense I've ever seen.
Well, I don't like to be too biased, but Lee County.
Lee County, just like
Lee
that?
County. Just like that.
All right. Well, what do you think the difference in the ball game is?
Honestly, you might think I'm crazy. Special teams.
Okay.
Special teams and defense. The defensive line for Lee County tonight will be big.
Now, let me ask you a question. We've seen throughout the season, Coach Steve Bordeaux, this is year 4 with the Lee County Yellow Jackets. He has a tendency to try to do other things than kick the ball deep. Be all kind of onside attempts, high spinners, things like that. In a game like this, it's really predictable that you're going to see that.
Right.
But J.H. Rose has had time to plan for that. Do you maybe cross him up and kick it deep a couple of times?
I think he may try it once or twice.
Right.
I still think that, he'll kind of stick to his guns on this one. But, yeah, that's my thing tonight. Defense and special teams.
All right. Well,
Yes,
we'll
sir.
take a quick break. We're ready to go down to the field. You hyped?
I'm ready.
All right. I'm Chris Delambert. This is Jerry Chalmers doing rookie debut, man. I'm
Yes,
excited
sir.
for you. All right. We'll be back on the other side with the kickoff.
All you do is win, 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 no matter what. We got you on our mind, we can never get enough. Every time you step into our building, everybody's hands go up. And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. All you do is win, win, win. Put your hands in the air when you go down.
Visit us online at ClassicNissanSanford.com or call 1-855-461-9595. Classic Nissan Sanford.
All right. Welcome back to the NFHS Game of the Week. Rose will receive. It's the Rose Rampants facing Lee County Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets in white will kick off. Kennedy Hernandez. And Kevin Hamilton is the deep man for Rose. And we talked about being prepared for that. Rose came up and had his heels on the 20-yard line. He doesn't suspect it's going to be a particularly deep kick. And I don't suspect Lee County wants to give him the chance to start this out with a bang. So I think we're going to get a short, high spinner of some sort. Well, here we go. Hernandez with a kick. They kick it deep.
They kicked it deep.
Going to make him work. Hamilton fields at the 8. Stutter steps, bringing it, nowhere to go. And corralled at about the 24-yard line. Lee County Special Teams swarm into the football and maybe sending a little bit of a message. We see your speed. We're not scared.
Yes, sir. They're going to make him prove it to them tonight.
All right, senior quarterback, Wade Jarman, leading this Rose offense out on the field. They run a spread, and they will run the jet sweep until they're blue in the face. Over and over and over again. They run a lot of variations out of it. Keep your eyes open for number 4, Michael Allen. He's the big play threat along with Hamilton, who we've talked a lot about. In the backfield, Clavon Brown for the Rampants. A little miscommunication, a little confusion. All right, quick out to Hamilton. He's wrapped up and brought down with a good tackle in the open field by Carlos Hancock.
Nice play.
That's going to be important. Getting to him is one thing. Bringing him down and not allowing him to rip out of one of those and go long yardage is key to this game. So Hancock and Marshall on the other side will be stressed all day.
Palmer on the other side.
Oh, it is. Kenyon Palmer getting the start at corner. Oof.
Oh, yeah.
Big hit in the backfield. Helmet goes flying.
Yes,
nothing there, and that's a message. Clavon Brown on the carry loses a couple. It's big 3rd and long coming up.
We're going to hear that name a lot tonight, those Jennings boys.
All right, interesting configuration. Landon Johnson lined up at linebacker in this set for the Jackets. Jarman drops, pressure coming, flushes him, steps up in the pocket. He's going down. They'll get to him. Oh, maybe not. No, breaks out of there. I told you, he's gritty,
what we're talking about,
scrappy, and just athletic enough. And Jarman goes for 18 on the carry. First down, Rampants. First downs this year brought to you by Pentair Pools. And Jarman, I talked to Coach Will Bland, Rampant's first-year head coach, and he told me, and I was surprised by this, that they generally just don't call design runs for Jarman. All of that he does on the ground with his legs is in broken plays, making something out of nothing, and he did there to salvage the drive for the Rampants. Now it's first down. Brown on the carry straight ahead. Tough sledding, gets a couple.
Well, I've watched it. He's definitely capable of breaking big plays from scrambling, from broken plays. So.
Now that broken play ability also comes back to bite him every once in a while. Jarman with 13 interceptions on the season. Most of those came in broken fields where he was trying to make a play down the field, and it didn't go well. All right, 4-man front for the Jackets. Jarman barking out signals. They stay in the spread. Jarman drops and motion. I think they're going to get somebody on the right side here. Got off to a bit of a hot start.
Now, Chris, who's your man for Lee Senior tonight? Who's your standout player for Lee Senior tonight? What's your choice?
Well, on offense, I think this game is going to come down to number 43, T.J. Johnson.
34.
34, I'm sorry. 34. I think T.J. Johnson, if he can establish himself in the run game, I don't know that Rose has enough girth up front to stop him, and he can demoralize the team. Jarman looking down the field. Hamilton's got a step, and he's got him. Carlos Hancock can't keep up. Rose is going to get on the board first. 59 yards on the touchdown catch. Double move. Jarman sold it with the pump fake, and Hamilton just ran straight by Hancock. And I know that Lee County came out and their plan was to play straight up. You might need to roll a safety toward number 3.
I definitely see a safety coming over. Possibly Tyreek will be moved over. I know they'll make that adjustment soon, though.
Well, Hancock does a lot of things well in this defense, and he's one of those guys that's come a long way in the last couple of years. But foot speed in a race with Hamilton, there aren't many folks in the state that are going to keep up with him. And that catch radius makes him a nice target. 10:02 to go, 6-0 Rose. They look like they'll go for 2 here. Offense is on the field. A completely different formation than we've seen. They look like they got a full house backfield. Now they're going to bring Hamilton in and go to Wildcat. We've seen this on tape. Hamilton's going to take it from the gun, surrounded by backs. Be interesting to see who ends up with this. Hamilton takes a snap, fakes, nope. Motion again, and this may change the thinking here. All right, Lee County, and I've talked to the coaching staff a lot about this in the last couple weeks. They've kind of cruised through the regular season, conference play in particular. And the question, this is like going back a couple years. What's Lee County going to do when they get punched in the mouth the first time?
Right.
They feel like there's enough competition on both sides of the ball that they beat up on each other enough that they're not going to be that they're not going to get nervous over this. There won't be any anxiety. What do you think?
I mean, I do think they can handle the pressure. You know, a good punch in the mouth, that's all right. Let's just let them know, hey, they're here to play too. So let's just step it up a little bit, and we'll be all right.
All right.
And there we go.
The extra point is blocked, so a big play coming right back at them.
Special teams.
Yeah, special teams. You called it.
Special teams.
The soothsayer, Jerry Chalmers. So the attempt is no good, and Rose will kick off with just the 6-0 lead. And we'll take a quick break and be back with the kick. You're watching the NFHS Game of the Week. Well, I think we better stay here. All right, Rose. A lot of observers thought this one might be Lee County big, often, and late. Rose come out and said, "Hey, we're here to play, guys."
I mean, definitely coming down to their home field. You know, they got to make a statement. So that statement has been made. So Lee County know they're here. They're definitely here to play. So we're going to see the response.
All right, well, we've seen some interesting things from Lee County on offense throughout the year where they've thrown the ball where they didn't necessarily have to. And I'm going to be interested to see if strategically they play this game a little bit different and run the ball until Rose can stop them. But first we'll get the kick. The kick is deep, headed toward the sideline, but it's fielded at about the 14-yard line and brought back tentatively, still running. And eventually the return man is brought down. That was Anthony Smith out to the 32 to set the Jackets up. And junior Will Patterson leads them onto the field.
You've been talking highly about Will.
Will is –
Look,
a lot of folks in Lee County said this team's only going to go as far as Will Patterson can take them. Out of the box, Lee County won some ball games, but they weren't really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
But they kept throwing the ball. They're throwing the ball down the field more than we've seen Lee County do it in forever. And in the last 4 games, Will Patterson is averaging over 300 yards a game, almost 4 touchdowns a game. We got a stoppage there, personal foul at the end of that. It's going to move the ball all the way out to the 47, and if you're Rose, you don't want to do that too often. So Will Patterson has been money, 67% clip. He's been throwing the ball at the last 4 games, almost 4 touchdowns a game, no picks, and is averaging almost 12.5 yards per attempt. He'll start with a hand to T.J. Johnson. Johnson puts his head down, runs through some tackles, and that'll get you about 6 yards. That's too easy.
And I've noticed also Will has spread the ball around to many different receivers for the last few weeks as well.
Yeah, capped off against the Brick City Bowl against Southern Lee where he threw it to 10 different receivers. At the high school level, you just don't see that very
you don't
often.
see that.
The most impressive thing about Patterson that we've seen – oh, there's a jump. Lee County going to get most of that back. The most impressive thing we've seen is his ability to progress through his reads.
Yes.
And you'll see it, the head swivels, and he'll go from the first to the second to the third and doesn't make a whole lot of bad decisions. The one shortcoming has been he has a tendency, especially with open receivers, to underthrow the ball a little bit.
Well, you know what that gives power to is your offensive line.
Oh, this offensive line for Lee County is a nice one. All right, Patterson fakes, now throws the screen. Oof, trying to hit McClendon, or trying to hit McKendall, put a little bit too much mustard on it, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10. It was there and pretty well blocked up, but Patterson a little bit too hard. McKendall unable to come up with it. Number 2, Tyreek McKendall, the first D1 offer for somebody at Lee County this year. Army has officially offered, and you know that there are other schools that are sniffing around right now.
They're definitely coming.
Including a school that's within a couple of miles of here, I understand.
Yes, sir.
We'll
Big
see.
fan, as you see right here.
All right, Patterson, big 3rd down. Lee County trying to extend this opening drive. Drops. Oh, my goodness. Oh, had T.J. Johnson, and he could have run for a little while. Hamilton comes over and delivers a hit late, but just off the fingertips, and Lee County forced to punt on this first drive. All right, so the coaching staff, they dialed up 2 plays that were there, just unable to execute, maybe a little bit of the yips early.
We're showing they're coming to throw the ball as well.
Yeah, Lee County coming out here. Sadler and Jaden Grimes back deep. It's dropped, picked up, and Johnson does a great job to get it out there. Great roll for Lee County. Special teams.
Oh, yeah.
Wrapping him up. And Jaden Grimes nowhere to go. Be stopped back at the 10-yard line. And I tell you, on a low snap to be able to flip field position like that, that's a win. All right, Rose with that quick strike jumped out to the lead. They'll be looking to build on it. 8:47 to go in the first quarter. And you look as the Rose offensive line rolls out there, and you don't have to be a football aficionado or an expert to know that's not a very big offensive line.
It's not.
Now, that said, there's a couple guys playing on that offensive line that are going to play on Saturdays. So these guys, good technique, undersized, but they can get it done. All right, Hamilton on the jet sweep, and he'll be forced out at the 20-yard line, close to a first down. We'll see what spot comes in. And looks like they're going to mark him a couple feet short.
9 yards.
So I asked Coach Bland during our talk, what do you call that little pass? Some people call it a pop pass. People call it a shuffle, call it a shuttle. He said we just call it the jet sweep.
The jet sweep.
Plain and simple. Now, unlike Lee County, who has a tendency to count those as rushing yards, they do count those as passing yards. Chalmers with a nifty little move, going to pick up 2 and get a first down Or excuse me, they gave him a first down with a kind spot before. That'll bring up 2nd and 8.
There's Duran McCoy back there. You know, he's been back there a lot lately. 10 sacks.
10 sacks
games
for McCoy. And his running mate, Dalmas Jennings, with 10 more
sacks.
to go with.
Yes, sir.
Double-digit sack guys on this front end in an abbreviated season, and they'll get a chance tonight. All right, Lee County under pressure. There's
McCoy.
That's McCoy.
There's
He's got
McCoy.
him. And Jarman.
There's McCoy.
You see, first of all, great play by Duran McCoy, going to set up 3rd and a mile, but you saw Jarman almost let that ball go, and that's exactly what Coach Bland was talking about, is that unwillingness to let a play die, and I think we about saw Jarman try it there. In the end, he goes down. Lee County adds to their impressive sack total for the year. And 3rd and 20. Last time we got into 3rd and long, it was Hamilton deep on a double move, and I don't see a safety shaded that way. All right, Jarman looking the other way. Now scrambles. Oof. Ooh, he spun around. He's into the end zone. This could be a disaster. Throws it and almost picked off. And Jarman, we talked about this from Jarman for 10 minutes in the ride up, and we're seeing it immediately. He will not let a play die. The coaches have tried to get it out of his system, and it's just not in him. Dodged a bullet there, and now he'll stay out there to punt, pulling double duty. Man, they're getting a taste of what this Lee County front can do.
They're relentless. All
right, little confusion. They're going to play this straight. They've got nobody deep on fourth down to field this punt. And out of bounds. That ended up being the right call. Oof. Well, they're going to say that it bounced out of bounds, so they don't get the good fortune of that 7 or 8 yards added on. But it's going to be short of the 50. Lee County will take over on the 43 with their second drive, hoping that it goes better than the first. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Johnson get it in his belly a couple times consecutively.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll see what the call is. Lee County running linemen out. They run about 10 linemen in this rotation in any given week.
There's some pretty big guys.
There's some pretty big guys, and there's some pretty talented guys. My eyes always go directly to number 75, T.J. McMullen, the sophomore that's playing right guard tonight. And here he pulls. Patterson brings it down. Eli Garrison making a move. He's into the secondary, and he'll have it down to the 24 before he's finally stopped. And Garrison, who is a guy that really wasn't even a factor in the offense up until about week 3 or 4, and every week makes a big play at some point.
Big
Sure-handed
play
guy.
every week, yeah. He was on JV last year, and came to the varsity. He's really stepped up.
Yep, and as a senior next year, I think he'll be a focal point in this offense as sort of the possession guy.
He reminds me of Jackson Lamb.
He is Jackson Lamb 2.0.
Yep, he reminds me of Jackson Lamb.
All right, Patterson with a first down at the 24. Hands to Johnson. Johnson picks his way, gets outside. That's trouble.
That looks like
that's blocked up well, and he's
there.
running right in. That's too easy if you're Lee County.
Yes, sir.
All right, from 24 yards out, T.J. Johnson coasts into the end zone, and Lee County evens this up with 6:40 to go in the first quarter. Hopefully for the Jackets, their extra point attempt goes better than it did for Rose.
So here's that formation we talk about.
Well, and we'll see how well prepared Rose is for it. You either cover this or you don't. For those of you that aren't familiar, Lee County will line up with 4 players in the middle of the field. If you line up with 4 or fewer against them, they'll snap it to McKindle or to Johnson, and they'll run the ball in. If you cover it up, they'll go to a more traditional formation, and they'll kick the extra point. That's a credit to the preparation Rose did for this because they didn't even blink. There was no confusion. They knew exactly what was coming.
Not at all.
All right, Kennedy Hernandez on for the extra point, and here's a flag, pre-snap. And we'll get a delay of game against Lee County, and that'll back it up. This should still be well within Hernandez range. Been money on extra points this year and is good in the field goal game out to about 33, 34 yards. And I tell you, Lee County might have to do a little bit of adjustment. This is one of the first games we've had this season where they're actually keeping the play clock on the field.
Yeah.
And that's a bit of a learning curve for those guys to actually look down in the end zone and look at the play clock. I think you get a little bit more love when the clock is kept on the field sometimes.
Definitely.
All right, hold us down. Kick is up. It's low, but it's through,
good.
And it's good. And the Jackets stretch it out to 7-6, 6:40 to go in the first quarter. We'll take a quick break. You're watching first-round coverage of the North Carolina 3 AA playoffs.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are
Got to
the
turn
same.
the mic on last time. I'm talking to you.
And I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission.
Too many things to get started.
I provide a customized marketing plan
plan to
that
be here
includes
by about
professional
6
staging,
o'clock.
photography,
We drove right
videography,
past
and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com.
All right, welcome back to the NFHS Game of the Week, brought to you by Wilkinson Cadillac. Jerry Chalmers.
Yes, sir.
Providing the color today.
Yes, sir.
So we saw some of the yips on that first drive, a couple plays that were there, not completed and taken advantage of. Second drive, a lot of what I'd like to see
Run
some
game.
of, running right at him.
T.J. Johnson. I've said it since the beginning of the year. You know, I talked to you in the very beginning of the year, and I told you that T.J. Johnson will be one of the best players in the state of North Carolina.
And you knew what you were talking about, and it's a source of frustration for a lot of people around the program because COVID, one of the byproducts, and that's kicked over Hamilton's head. He's going backwards to field that inside the 5. Now he's going, this guy is dangerous. But not today, buddy.
Special teams.
Oh, special teams going to wrap him up at about the 12-yard line. Jackson Lamb, Eli Garrison, and a host of Jackets bring him down. And you talked about T.J. Johnson, and I heard the words that were coming from you. And then I saw T.J. right about the time the season started.
Seen the words.
I saw the words.
Yeah. T.J. never stopped working.
He packed on some weight, and you had told me he'd never stopped working. But the frustration around the program, and it's not exclusive to Lee County, is that the online recruiting services have not caught up to what's really going on the field.
Right.
And you're seeing these guys that have really bounced in their junior year that aren't getting any recognition. And it's one thing for the online services not to get their stuff together, but you've also seen it with these schools and their recruiting efforts. We've got guys that we've seen throughout the year that ought to be getting attention that they're just not getting because they're not out there made easy by the online services.
Right. When not coaches not being able to actually come to the game, it does put a little bit of hold on things, but they're going to definitely get that from TJ.
All right, 2nd and 6, Jarman fakes. Now he's going to take off, and they're trying to keep him corralled, but he's going to go down at the 24, and that'll be another Rose first down.
I'll tell you what, those hits keep coming like that, it won't be too much scramble, much more scramble.
Wade Jarman, not a big fella. They list him at 6 foot. I don't know that I give him 6 foot, but 160 pounds sounds about right. And he's a heady guy. You see, he keeps his eyes down the field. He scrambles. I'll be interested to see if they adjust a little bit, maybe spy him a little bit more. But the pressure is getting to him regularly now. All right, this is the hand of Brown. Brown around the right side, got a step, but it's walked down pretty quick. JoJo, who do damage on both sides of the ball. That's if that's not one of the best sophomores in this state.
Freshman All-American. Hey, man. Hey, JoJo's been playing. He's been like that since he was 5 years old.
All right, 2nd and 7 here for the Rampants. Clavon Brown still in the backfield. Haven't seen Michael Allen. Michael Allen, a lot of hoopla about that young man. All right, there's a quick toss.
Big play.
Brought down, back and lose a couple.
Big play.
John Trea Bradley on the catch. So you see they've got a lot of weapons they try to get the ball to. You never know where it's going, but they're not challenged down the field. With the exception of the long pass to Hamilton, they really don't try to challenge the seams or try to get the ball more than about three yards down the field. Now, a stack formation on the right. Here's that little pop pass. This is Hamilton. Got a lot of work to do.
Oh, yeah.
That's just not going to work. Kenyon Palmer, who hasn't played much defense at all this year.
Hey.
Got the start at corner, and he comes up and lays the wood. Hamilton is brought down, and you got another punt apparently from Rose. And Lee County is not buying this punt. They keep Jarman in there, the quarterback, to punt. Lee County's not buying it. They're playing this straight with the defense on the field. There's a punt, and that's going to roll for a while if they get a good bounce. Oh, bad break for Rose. Checks up at the 46, and that'll be Lee County ball there going the other way. And a tough 3 and out there for Rose, or short. But they got the first down on first down of that drive. But you want to see, if you're Rose, you want to see sustained drives to keep this defense off the field. We've talked about the size weight disparity. It's on both sides of the ball. And if Lee County establishes this run and starts to lean on this defensive line, it could get really, really rough. All right, 45-yard line, 1st and 10, Lee County, 4:05 to go in the first quarter.
JoJo Jennings in the backfield this time.
All right, as we see often, Johnson checks out. He's looking for Palmer deep. Palmer's got a step. Patterson overthrows him by a step. He had his man beaten. That was Justin Blaylock out there on the coverage. And Palmer, who has become more and more a part of this offense and really is sort of the 1A receiver in this offense now to Tyreek McKendall's 1, is just misses out on the touchdown there. He'll check out of the game.
Well, you know that number 1 is a special number for Palmer.
Talk about that.
So Palmer is actually Jaden Chalmers' first cousin, who also wore number 1 last year. So they wanted to keep that in the family and definitely do good. And look at Mr. JoJo Jennings. That is a load right there, buddy.
That is a big man running down the ball field.
That's a big man there, buddy.
30 yards on the carry for JoJo Jennings, the sophomore. Looks like a plotter, but nobody wants to tackle him.
Nobody wants that. Every bit of 230 right there, man.
And he will check out Johnson back into the game, and it doesn't get any easier. Talking with the staff here at Rose this week, job one, they got to figure out how to stop these big backs. They've never seen backs this big.
And we've yet to see Rodney Ingram. He's just as big.
Rodney runs meaner than either one of these guys.
Any one of them. Yeah, he's definitely the mean one.
All right, Patterson from the gun, fakes the hand. Now he
stretches there's
out.
Will.
Patterson, look out. Patterson accused all the time of not being athletic. He's going to take it all the way down to the 18. He said, I don't know who says that about me, but I'll get 9 for you.
Good run by Will there.
All right, 2nd and 3. They give him forward progress down inside the 20, inside the Zaxby's red zone. Patterson looking over Coach Steve Bordeaux, head man here at Lee County now, year 4, undefeated in the regular season through 4 years.
That's great.
It's kind of amazing.
That's great.
All right, we're going to get a stoppage. I think Rose wants a timeout. They're going to talk about this a little bit. While they do, we'll take a quick break. You're watching the NFHS Game of the Week. Lee County visiting the J.H. Rose Rampants. All right, welcome back to this round 1 3AA matchup between Lee County, the state runner-ups last year, taking on the home J.H. Rose Rampants, who 6-6 last year. Coaching change. What I didn't realize until this week was this Rampant team, that went undefeated, ran the table in their conference. Yeah. Their JV for the last couple of years, 19-1. So a lot of this talent you're seeing on display here with all this speed has been down at JV, and they managed to harness it through the regular season. Patterson ripped down by his helmet. No flag, but a big loss. Little disjointed, bad snap. Patterson never able to get his head around, and he's sacked all the way back at the 33. So 3rd and long coming up.
A couple of missed blocks in there.
Yeah, and Tyreek McKendall ran open late, and Patterson just not able to set his feet and get the ball down there. All right, maybe 4-down territory here for Lee County as they're back up at the 33. If they can get a chunk here, I think they might keep the offense out on the field on 4th down. But first things first, you'll try to get that initial chunk. T.J. Johnson in the backfield, Lee County from their familiar spread. Patterson takes a snap, looking down the field, and throws it out to the corner. Eli Garrison didn't know it was coming.
A little early.
And almost a pick there from Kevin Hamilton back at that safety spot. He read it all the way. Garrison never got his head around. Oh, and that wasn't Hamilton back there at that safety spot. See who it is coming out of there. Number 1, Eddie Powell. Almost a pick, and that would have been a huge play. Instead, the Lee County offense is going to stay out here on 4th down. Little surprising, but when you've got a defense that plays the way Lee County does, I think Lee County's game plan in this is pressure, pressure, pressure.
Definitely.
And you're just as likely to give up a touchdown from the 32 as you are from the 5. So they're going to forego the field position they might get out of a punt and try and pick up a first down here. Now what we've seen, Coach Bordeaux doesn't like what he sees. He's going to call a timeout. While he does, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back after these messages.
WilkinsonCars.com. Come visit us at our new location in Sanford. With the same great staff and the same great service. Test drive one of our many different vehicles. Check out our state-of-the-art service department and collision center, where our team can have you back on the road in no time. We're right across from Walmart at 3335 North Carolina 87 South. Schedule your appointment online at WilkinsonCars.com or call us at 919-842-3322. We guarantee we're the place to be at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
All right, welcome back to the NFHS Game of the Week coverage of the first round of the North Carolina 3A playoffs. Lee County with a big fourth down play here, trying to pull a rabbit out of their hat, keep this drive alive. 2:05 left to go in the first quarter. Rose just trying to keep everything in front of them. Patterson takes a snap, looking down the seam, and broken up at the line of scrimmage. Nice play there. Number 90, sort of the anchor on this defensive line, Ricky Artis, 5'11", 281, maybe the best of the defensive linemen that J.H. Rose puts out there, makes a big play there and stops Lee County in their tracks, and they'll go the other way.
We're seeing some good defense.
Yeah.
Pretty good defense.
Well, and I tell you what, this Rose squad is well prepared for what's coming at them.
Yeah.
We've seen some route combinations run by Lee County that have caused havoc for teams over the last few weeks that just aren't coming open. All right, man in motion. They fake the jet sweep. Now toss it. Oof.
JoJo.
Tell you what, JoJo comes up and makes a stop. Landon Johnson had touchdown in his eyes. And I tell you what, if you throw it over Landon Johnson's head, you've done something. That young man's about 6'6", almost able to get fingertips on it. Instead, the pass is complete. They'll get 3 and 2nd and 7 out at the 35. All right, Jarman, hands to Brown this time. Brown nowhere to go. Durand McCoy in the backfield. If you had to pick one of these defensive linemen for Lee County this year to say you are the guy for 2020, who would it be? It's a tough call.
It's a tough call, but I would have to go with my veteran, and that is number 44, Delmars Jennings.
Okay.
Delmars, remember, was the defensive
Jarman
player
drops,
of the game.
and he's going to be sacked again. This time I think that'll be split. There's your guy. Delmars Jennings stands up out of the pile first. Rodney Ingram was there as well. I think they'll split that sack. And fourth down for Rose. We haven't seen a return put on by Lee County yet. And this time Eli Garrison's going to come in, and they think, and this is funny because from this field position is probably the least likely place that they're actually going to punt from that they've done lined up to punt. But Garrison on as the return man, who generally has instructions just to fair catch it and get the offense onto the field. Not much pressure from Lee County. It comes late. Garrison can't get to it, and now needs to get out of the way. Ball rolls dead at the 32. Really soft field out there. You can tell by the way those punts are bouncing. They're not going anywhere.
Nice field at that, grass field.
It really is. It's an interesting view because you can see the road from here, but all of these trees, it really is kind of scenic. In the end, it's plopped down. You talked about its proximity to ECU.
Real close.
And you started, you kind of got cut off there talking about Kenyon Palmer, number 1, who's lined up wide left here. You said that he is Jaden Chalmers' cousin.
First cousin.
You are Jaden's father.
Yes.
Jaden plays up the road here at ECU now. He's making his debut at defensive back for the Pirates this year.
Yes, sir.
And his cousin Kenyon Palmer, who's got a lot of ties to D1 football.
Oh yeah.
But Jaden Chalmers being as close to him, he wanted to wear number 1 like Jaden did at Lee County, and the legacy continues.
He's definitely holding together. And if you look at Kenyon, he's actually wearing some ECU Pirates gloves as well.
Might be tipping his hand a little bit.
Hey,
all right. That's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. We go to double zeros. Lee County a flip ends. You're watching the NFHS Game of the Week. 7-6 Lee County up on the home J.H. Rose Rampants. We'll be back with the second quarter right after these messages.
Pentair, empowering people to move water. Improve water. Enjoy water. So that people can live their best, healthiest lives. Lives with purpose. Lives with enjoyment. Lives that flourish. Lives with hope. Because at Pentair, we're not just about better water. We're about better life. Pentair, bringing water to life, for life.
All right, welcome back to coverage of the North Carolina 3A first round of high school football playoffs. This is, when you look at this matchup, now COVID and the restrictions and pushing back the season, one of the decisions was made. We were going to cut the playoffs in half. So what you have now is 16 teams total in 3AA. You have 16 more over in 3A. And if you look up at the matchups, people use some interesting words talking about this matchup.
Oh, yeah.
And the bottom line is that between the first and second round in this quadrant of the matchup, you may have the three best teams in the East.
You may have, definitely, especially with Cleveland. But the thing with Cleveland missing Omarion Hampton is really big.
Yeah, Cleveland is I mean, most people would say is the most likely draw.
There's Mr.
And there's
Jennings
again. JoJo with a first down, all the way out to get 14 on the call. Yeah, looking at this matchup, if you were to reseed these teams in accordance with their max preps ratings at the end, this is the premier matchup in the state tonight
Definitely.
at 3AA. And the winner gets Cleveland, who is probably the best team overall in the East. You said Omarion Hampton, the junior running back. All right, here's another hand to Jennings. Jennings bounces it outside, now cuts up, slips a little bit, but he'll get positive yardage out near midfield. We'll see if Hampton is a factor moving forward. No, he's not going to play next week, regardless of what's going on with Cleveland.
Right.
Whether or not they're able to rally the troops and get past Southern Durham is another issue. Southern Durham had an interesting schedule. We talked about this week. Played in the conference with Northwood and Chapel Hill, where they all beat each other, and all three teams in a year where the whole talk was about how runners-up probably weren't going to get into the playoffs. That conference delivered three teams into the playoffs, all with one loss. But Southern Durham got their work cut out for them as they host Cleveland tonight, and we'll get to the second round when we get to the second round. All right, 3rd and 7 coming up for Lee County near midfield. Big play in the ball game here.
As I said before, both defenses are really holding steady right now.
Yeah.
Not giving up too much. They gave up one big play, and each play resulted in a touchdown. Let's see what they're going to do here, though.
Right, T.J. Johnson moves over to the right. Patterson snaps, looking across the middle, looking for Jackson Lamb. Jackson Lamb going to be close to the sticks, and I think they're going to get pass interference. I think the defender came over the back. Jackson Lamb said, I don't care if you're on my back or not, I'm going to go ahead and make this catch.
Action Jackson. That's what we call him.
I tell you what, talking about playoffs, and you look a couple years ago.
He was Mr. Playoff last year.
Man, that play against Cleveland probably saved Lee County, turned the ball game right before the end of the half, for those that don't know, near midfield with basically no time left on the clock.
Sir.
There was a pass over the middle to Lamb, and Lamb made a run that it will be an iconic moment in Lee County football forever.
Forever.
And managed to find his way all the way to the end zone, and that really kind of flipped that game where Lee County really been dominated. And Lee County propelled themselves all the way to the state championship game and came up on the short end against Weddington. But Jackson Lamb's been a heck of a ball player here for years, as they're going to mark off this interference call, and that'll be a Lee County first down.
Jackson had a few big plays in the state championship game as well. Big interception, a few catches. He played very well. And him coming back this year, it shows that Lee Senior does have some veterans on their team right now.
Well, this senior class, last year with your son, Jaden Chalmers, moving on, DeAndre Prince went up and played year one at App State. Des Evans, of course, the #1 recruit in the state. That ball skipped up to Patterson. Good job keeping it. Johnson with the bad timing on that can't get going, and he'll be brought down for no gain.
It's been a few bad snaps, but what I've noticed, they had moved James Gordon to center over the last few games, and I looked over there, and actually James is on the sideline tonight, so there's a new center on the play down. So that may, cause a little bit of things with Lee County's offense.
Well,
tonight.
we haven't seen much with the quarterback center exchange. It hadn't really been an issue much for Lee County.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit of nerves, maybe a little bit of getting accustomed to a new role. Rose shows pressure. Johnson with the carry, tries to find some room and does. and he'll get about half of what he needs. That'll bring up third and about 5. But my point with Chalmers, Evans, Prince, those are marquee names. Those are guys that were looked at all over the state, guys with multiple D1 offers. Not the same thing going on with this senior class, but these guys, don't be confused. Duran McCoy, Jackson Lamb, Delmaz Jennings, those guys are leaders, and they're good football players who may be a step slower or a couple inches too short. Johnson on the toss, got work to do, and is going to be run out of bounds close to a first down, and I think they're going to get a late hit out of bounds. That's a tough call.
Definitely.
Tough call. The crowd here doesn't like it, and I don't much blame them.
Got to be a little smart.
And the student section quick to drop out the chant. Johnson's going to check out of the game. We'll see as the officials talk it over whether they change their mind on this. Seemed to be real close to the sideline when that hit came in. And they're going to get the personal foul, and this is 15 free wins for Lee County, and that hurts if you're the Rampants.
These are plays that you cannot give up if you're the Rampants at all. You can't give up plays like this against Lee Senior, giving them better field position when it could have brought up fourth down. And giving up a big first down like that could really hurt.
All right, Lee County now going to be down inside the Zaxby's red zone, ball at the 13-yard line. And I'll be interested to see what the scheme is down here in close in the red zone. Jennings checks in at tailback. Haven't seen Ingram yet. It's been all T.J. Johnson and JoJo Jennings. Tyreek McKendall alone on his own down here on the right. Number 2 hasn't touched the ball yet. All right, the hand is to Jennings. Jennings picking his way now, bounces it out to the left. Going to be tough to bring him down in the open field. He runs through tackles and into the end zone. Touchdown, Lee County. That's a big man.
That's a big man.
And 16 years old. Woo!
That's a big man, man.
All right, Lee County.
You know, there's been a plethora of Ingrams playing for Lee County. You have Delmaz Jennings, who's JoJo's brother. Victor Ingram Jr., who played a few years back, was a really good offensive lineman as well.
I saw Victor a couple weeks ago and wanted to go over and kiss him on his face, man. A health scare for Victor a couple months ago, and good to see him up and around, man. That was a very welcome sight. I saw him down at Union Pines, as a matter of fact.
Yes, sir. And, you know, with that scare he had, he's never deviated away from any sports that he's had with his kids. He's always there. He's still with the youth sports program. So big up to Mr. Victor Ingram.
All right, kick from Hernandez up and through Lee County, 14-6, 8:48 to go in the first quarter. Rose going to have to shake this off and figure out how to move the ball. We'll be back on the other side.
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
All right, decent start for the Lee County Yellow Jackets. After the big play on the first series from Rose, the long touchdown pass to Hamilton, Lee County starting to assert themselves. And, you know, like we've seen all year, trying to mix it up, trying to throw it a little bit, trying to run it a little bit. But in the end, there are going to be weeks like this where the passing game's not clicking. And if you can run the ball, just run the football.
Just run the ball. I think we're going to see that a lot tonight.
Now, we're Lee County to get through this game and advance into, the next couple rounds. There's going to come a time where they have to throw the ball. And that's what all of this year's offensive scheme has been about, is deep into the playoffs. But on a night like this, if it's not working, run it. All right. Oof. Onside attempt. And causes a little trouble for Rose, but good job on the coverage team to finally fall on it.
That was a close one.
It was. And when you've got as much confidence in your defense, you can do that, and they do it over and over and over again. Good play by Jackson Latham, number 82, for Rose to fall on that. All right, no change in personnel really for Rose yet. Jarman at quarterback, Clavon Brown at tailback. They run 3 wide up on the right side. Kevin Hamilton down there by himself on the left, going to him quick. He's in open field. Jackets swarm to him, and they'll force him out of bounds, but not until he picks up 14 on the play and a rampant first down. Well, that's the problem. If you're going to play off on him,
Yeah.
he'll take a couple steps.
I think you definitely have to put a little bit more pressure on him, get a little closer. Don't give him so much because even once he gets started, he's hard to bring down.
Well, and they flipped up the coverage. Palmer draws the coverage on him this time. Clavon Brown up the middle and dropped after a nice little game. Picks up about 4 on the play. I'm really, really surprised. I got to be honest with you. I thought it would be Jaden Marshall covering Hamilton to start the game, and I don't think he's matched up on him one-on-one yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. I know I spoke with Kenyon last night, and he told me, I told him he had a tall task, and he's ready. So we'll see. They have Jaden Marshall shadowing over that side of safety now. So
and offsides on the Jackets, that'll make it a little bit easier for the Rampants. Yeah, we don't normally see Jaden Marshall playing safety, but now they're shading him over and to the same side that Hamilton is, but it's been Hancock and Palmer rotating off of number 3. So interesting. And still no Michael Allen in terms of touches yet.
Well, I think he's number 4.
He's in the slot. He is number 4. That's Hamilton in the slot, going to be dragged out. Short game, but it'll be enough for a first down as he's inside the 30.
So I don't think we'll be seeing him tonight. He looks
and
to be in
picked it off.
Air Maxes down there.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so Lee County may catch a good break with that one. Now, definitely not having him on the field that's big.
Good eyes. Like
that's
I said,
big.
Now that's a young man, and there were rumors that he had committed to North Carolina State. We'll confirm that's not true. There's the shuffle pass to Clavon Brown. They faked it to Hamilton. That'll only go for a couple. But Michael Allen being out of this game is enormous. There were rumors that he had committed to NC State. Then there were rumors that he had committed to ECU. There are also rumors that he may not play college football at all, and that he may go play baseball. So he is a state track star. Mm-hmm. He is a baseball star here, and he obviously is a football star. He has been their big play guy. Coach Bland swears he runs a 4.34 as a junior in high school. Buddy.
That's moving.
He runs 10.3 in the 100.
That's moving.
He is on the sideline in Air Maxes. You are correct. No shoulder pads.
He's not a frail guy neither.
And I'll tell you, that's a late scratch because I talked to Coach Bland 2 days ago, and there was no intimation that well, of course he might have been. He might have been playing possum on me.
Yeah.
But I didn't get any impression that Allen wasn't going to play. So that's a big blow to Rose. All right. Jackets running somebody on late.
That's more pressure.
And pressure coming. Going to be another sack.
Dale Mars and number 54, Duran McCoy.
Woof. That's a tandem.
That's a tandem, man.
And as much fun as it was last year with DDP, as we called him, and Des Evans, McCoy and Jennings have been they've been every bit as productive this year, which is surprising to everybody.
They're definitely keeping it going.
But last year, what you saw from Lee County is a lot of just lining it up and letting those guys beat their man. This year, they're bringing pressure from all over the place. Oof.
Good
Great
coverage.
job by Hancock to get over there.
I think they
late.
threw a flag on that play.
Oh, that's tough.
That looked pretty good. Good looking coverage to me.
Who was that over on the coverage? I'm trying to pick
that
the
was
number
Hancock.
up.
That's Hancock over there.
Got over there, and they threw a flag. They going to pick it up? No, there was no flag.
Looks like it's laying down
it
over
does.
there.
There it goes. There it goes. Let's see what the call is. I guess they're going to get pass interference. Looked like he got there about the time the ball arrived, but the official saw it differently and decided Hancock was a beat too fast, and that'll be a Rose first down all the way down at the 15 inside the Zaxby's red zone. And, too tough for Lee County to cry about that call given what they got on T.J. Johnson down on the sideline. A similar situation where it sets them up with a first down at around the 15-yard line. Rose got to cash this in. Down 14-6, getting late in the second quarter. They need to get on the board again, in particular with Lee County receiving the second-half kickoff. And there's another pre-snap call. Nope, they're going to get a timeout. Rose wants to talk about it. They understand the gravity of this situation. We'll let them talk about it. We'll take a break. You're watching the NFHS Game of the Week.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. Hi, I'm David Fashee, and we are First Bank.
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce. Because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
All right, Jarman hands Brown around the end. Looked dangerous there for a minute. Looked like they were going to be stopped for nothing. He broke through a tackle. Picks up a handful on the play. That'll be 2nd and 6 at about the 11-yard line. Wade Jarman leading this offense. Hamilton looking at the sideline, walking around, getting special instructions. All right, Jarman barking out signals, changes. A little scrambling around on the defense. Jarman trying to take off now, whips it into the back of the end zone. Had a man just a little too tall for Kendarius Geddes. Number 2 spun him around, tried to make the highlight reel catch and not able to. 3rd and 6 coming up. And if you're Rose, you really need 6 here.
See how Lee County handled this pressure right here.
All right, here we go. Well, this part of the field really plays against Rose's strength. Team that relies on speed and quickness. You know, once you bunch all these receivers together, it gets tough, and that ball's up in the air. Caught! Oh. Great concentration to catch the rebound.
And that may have gave them a first down.
It'll get them a first down. They unpile this. A lot of heat on that pass. And it was bounced in the air, and Clavon Brown able to come down with it. Bail Rose out, and they'll have 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. It's a Pentair first down, and a little bit of a change in the formation now as they look. They got wideouts tucked in. Hamilton on the jet sweep. He's going backwards. Need to get north-south, and he's going to be brought down outside the 5-yard line. Loses 2 on that. A little bit too predictable on that call, isn't it?
Great defense by Lee County right there.
I mean, you line it up like that, nobody in the backfield.
We know where it's going.
Anybody that's watched 5 seconds of tape, and I'll tell you, going into this, looking at paper, Michael Allen jumps out at you. You look at the big playability, but then you watch and you're like, oh my goodness, look at number 3.
Yeah.
So, kind of a little bit too predictable there. Hamilton swarmed at trying to get around the right. Jarman now, Clavon Brown in the backfield, 2nd and goal from the 6. Fakes the hand. Jarman going to keep it himself. Jumps through the middle. Going to be down about the 2-yard line. Hurdling through the air. 3rd down coming. And this is where you'd love to just put it in the belly of the tailback and let him go forward. They don't really have that in their repertoire.
You got JoJo Jennings was out there, and that's usually where he'd be at right there. So that was a good pickup by the coach there.
All right, Coach Andre Jacobs, defensive coordinator for Lee County, barking out signals. All right, now they're going to the Wildcat. Hamilton checks in at quarterback. Clavon Brown is in there with him. Hamilton rolling left, trying to find a seam, can't, and just into the end zone, breaks the plane, touchdown Rose. He got the lean and just barely able to break the goal line. He gets it and celebrates with the fans down in the corner of the end zone. Rose cuts the lead to 2 with 4:26 to go. Got to think they go for 2 here and try to tie this up. All right, and then personnel-wise, a little wrinkle being thrown here. Ricky Artis, star of the defensive line, he's getting special instructions there. I wonder if he comes in at some sort of H-back position.
You see Hamilton
now he puts
on the sideline.
Walk back over. Hamilton wrapped up awkwardly there. He's trying to run that off. Rose can ill afford to lose him.
So he gets back in there healthy.
All right, so Jarman will check in with Hamilton banged up. No Wildcat on this conversion attempt. Jarman giving instructions, sends Brown out. They're going to run, fake the jet sweep, throw it back the other way to the left, and wrapped up, stopped short of the goal line by the Jackets. Nice play there led by T.J. Johnson. We've called his number as a running back, making his first big play at the middle linebacker spot, and Lee County escapes with that two-point lead intact.
Special
and will
teams.
Receive the kickoff after these messages.
Special teams.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. Hi, I'm David Fashee, and we are First Bank.
All right, welcome back to the NFHS Game of the Week, brought to you by Crystal Copus, Remax Real Estate Services. My good friend Tom Welburn used to tell a story. It was a fish story that grew forever and ever and ever about how Crystal Copus sold his house in a couple of days. By the time he got done with that, after years of telling it, I think she sold that house before he actually told her he wanted to sell it. It was fast. But Crystal will handle your business. All right, here's the kickoff from Rose. Going to kick it deep, high spinner. And Smith will come up and field it, moving at the 30-yard line, looking for a seam. He's got a seam. Going to carry it all the way out past the 40 to the 42-yard line. Jackets set up 1st and 10. 4:19 to go. Clock not really a factor, and if you're factoring that in, if you're Coach Bordeaux, who calls his own plays, maybe you want to milk that clock a little bit, get it down close to 0 before you punch it in?
I think so. I mean, I definitely think they're going to now we see him Rodney Ingram in the background.
Got a Rodney Ingram.
Yes, sir.
If we were, he of the 3 years over at Southern Lee, we used to hear that train whistle when he carried the ball. He is a load coming through that hole.
Yes, sir.
All right, see if he's in there. I would suspect he's in there to get the ball in his hands, but nope, he's going to roll into the pattern on 1st down. And the toss is out there looking for, is that Garrison on the catch?
That is.
It is. Eli Garrison picks up 7. 2nd down for the Jackets. I'm surprised that they bring Ingram in to do anything other than run the ball just because he's not been in the scheme very long. So when you're asking him to pass block and do some other things, it's a lot more complicated than just run the football.
He seems to have learned the offense and defense pretty well in just his first year, though.
Well,
definitely.
We knew that he had moved over to Lee County before the start of the season and figured that he would get some time at tailback and tipped at the line of scrimmage. Can't quite get it out there. Looking for Jason Bertasia, another receiver whose name we hadn't called much early in the season. Ingram going to check out. This time T.J. Johnson checks back in. 3rd and 4 coming up. Rose doing a lot of shuffling defensive personnel on and off the field. All right, pressure coming. Johnson trying to get outside. Great play in the backfield. Great play from Rose. Julian Long comes up from the safety spot and dumps Johnson in the backfield, giving up about 40 pounds. Wraps him up low. Johnson with nowhere to go.
You know what they say? You grab the legs, man. You have nowhere to go.
All right, Jackets will punt here. Rose going to get a chance to score before the end of the half. Landon Johnson doing double duty, gets it out of there. Nobody deep, and that takes a backward bounce. And it'll be swarmed on at the 34-yard line. Rose with another shot. 3:09 to go in the half. And, all the momentum was with Lee County for a little while. Now Rose punches it in, gets a stop on a big 3rd down to force the punt. And they're always one step away from being able to score.
Yes, sir.
I'll be interested to see if they have some sort of gimmick, some sort of reverse to try to get one of these speedsters into space. Kevin Hamilton split wide right. Kenyon Palmer's got the coverage. 3 receivers left. Clavon Brown in the backfield. Jarman drops, throws it across the middle. Oof. I tell you what. And the flags come out late, but looked like Hancock got there a step soon.
Just a little too early.
Got to get across the receiver's face on that one. Tried to go through the receiver, and Hancock's going to give him 15 free ones. And it keeps the clock stopped. Only 5 seconds run off there. 3:04 to go. If I'm counting correctly, Rose with 1 timeout in their pocket.
Not bad field position.
No, got the ball at 48, plenty of time. And we've seen with the big play to Hamilton over the top, they're not afraid to take a shot. Maybe a little surprised they haven't tried to go back to something like that. The hand is to Brown. Brown coming around the left side, nowhere to go. That's stretched out, and you running from the backfield to the edges against this Lee County defense, pack a lunch.
Yeah, you definitely going to have to get upfield with Lee County on their defense, sideline to sideline. They're going to get you every time.
You've got some premier defensive ends that rotate through on this defense, and those linebackers can run.
Yes, sir.
Evidenced by the fact that the two top linebackers in this defense, T.J. Johnson and JoJo Jennings, both play tailback.
Yes, sir.
They can run all day. All right, Jarman. Oh, Hamilton wasn't set there. There's a flag, so it's going to be motion regardless of what happens here. Jarman scrambles, all that work, gets popped late, and no flag. I don't think he got it with anything other than some hands. And that's all coming back anyway because Hamilton hadn't set. Hamilton was running out to his position, running just forward enough that it was illegal procedure, so this is going to come back. They're talking about maybe adding on to the back of this. No flag. The home crowd here at Rose wanted a flag as contact happened right along the line of scrimmage, but instead they'll just get the procedure call, and this is going to back Rose up and make it in 2nd and 15. Or excuse me, this will still be first down. I think the Chains have got it wrong. Well, I tell you, that student section, quick to to roll out the profanity.
Oh, yeah.
Respect. All right. So the Chains have got it 2nd and 15 here. Jarman barking out instructions, takes it, swings it. Number 2's got it.
Oh, blocking
and makes
the back
a nice
there.
little
Yes,
move,
sir.
and there's a block in the back,
there.
and there's a flag. Kendarius Geddes, another one of those speedy guys. He had a stretch of 2 games this year where he went for about 350 yards and 5 touchdowns, and then really didn't touch the ball much after that. That's what kind of speed this team has, and did all that damage on about 8 catches.
A lot of breakaway speed.
Yeah, but a block in the back here is going to back them up even farther. They go from 2nd and 15 all the way back to about 2nd and 25. I think it's a spot foul they're going to call that, and they'll just keep on walking. All right, so 2nd and 25 coming up for Rose.
Now here's where you have to watch for one of those big plays.
You do.
Double move down the field by Hamilton.
Well, there's no way if I'm Lee County I'm letting Hamilton get behind my defense. The hand is in the belly to Brown. Brown breaks a couple tackles. Landon Johnson comes up and sticks. Palmer's late to the pile, but they stop at 2:05 to go. This will bring up 3rd down. Maybe see a Lee County timeout here. They're going to let it run for now. But 3rd down, if they stop here, certainly Lee County with 2 timeouts will use one and get that offense back out on the field with a little bit of time left. All right, so 3rd down. Lee County, don't let them behind you. If you're Rose, you want to get one of these playmakers into space. All right, Jarman drops. Pressure coming. Jennings, that's down the middle, and that's pick. Kenyon Palmer.
There's that
Palmer
number
bringing
1.
it back. And he'll be near midfield as he's wrapped up and dragged down. Lee County with the huge turnover. And he saw it all the way.
Read that perfectly.
Cut right underneath. He broke his coverage and came underneath of that, picked it off. Jarman trying to stretch down the seam. He's explaining to his offensive coordinator on the sideline what he was looking at. But we saw it coming, and Palmer, who plays wide receiver,
yes, sir,
shows why with the good hands.
Maybe over the top, he may have would have been there.
But now Lee County suddenly, with the ball back in their hands, 1:34 to go, they still have those 2 timeouts. Johnson is in the backfield. Haven't seen number 2 yet. That was a focal point.
He's coming.
That was a focal point for Rose, was to stop number 2. Looking down the sideline and throws it just behind Bertasia. Interesting choice if you're trying to stretch the field. But Coach Bordeaux and that staff, confidence in all of these guys to catch the ball. But number 2, Tyreek McKendall, was the guy that jumped off tape, and for good reason for this Rose staff. No touches yet. They tried to get it to him on the first offensive snap of the game, and it was off his hands, a little bit too hot, and they haven't gone back to it. I'm a little surprised by that.
It's coming. It's definitely coming.
All right, play clock down to 12. Still moving guys around. Jennings is in the backfield. Clock at 7. Patterson takes a snap, looks one way, throws the screen back the other way. That just wasn't there. Well covered by Rose. And they'll bring Palmer down after a couple-yard loss. Clock ticking down toward a minute. They're going to give him forward progress back up around the 44-yard line. But 3rd and 12 coming up here. And now maybe Lee County's perspective changes a little bit. Maybe they're going to work this clock. They can get it down to under 40 before they snap. And they don't seem in any big hurry. right, Patterson lining these guys up. Play clock down inside 10, 3rd and 12. Clock ticking down toward 40 seconds left in the first half. Patterson takes a snap, drops, looking deep. Got it wheel route.
That's JoJo.
And that's JoJo. Dragging a tackler. Going to be bumped out of bounds. That'll save the timeout, and that's a big Lee County first down on 3rd down. All the way down to the 32-yard line. 1st and 10, Lee County. And that wheel route is something we've seen added just in the last couple weeks.
Definitely.
Jennings, good job to reel it in and then just shedding tacklers. Get off me.
He's not a one-man tackle. I'm telling
sir.
you, it's going to always take more than one man to get him
No,
going.
sir. Lee County set up 1st and 10 at the 32. Clock stopped. Patterson getting instructions. T.J. Johnson is in the ball game, and I'm going to tell you, with 2 timeouts in my pocket, I might let T.J. try to go all the way here and then call a timeout. Nope, they're going to let Patterson throw the ball. Patterson gets it out. Oof. Threw it behind Johnson, looking for him as he rolled out of the backfield. It was well covered anyway. Of course, when you're talking about a young man as talented as that, being there and getting him down is another thing.
Oh, yeah.
Juantrea Bradley on the coverage. Junior goes 6'2", 220.
Big kid.
Yeah, he is. Almost as big as T.J. Johnson.
Almost.
All right, 31 seconds to go, 2nd and 10. And Rose doing a good job of clogging up the middle. Nothing in the seams so far available for Lee County in this passing game. Ball skipped up to Patterson. Patterson rolling, throwing it deep. Got Eli Garrison. Garrison comes across the field. He's going to go touchdown.
Big
Lee
play,
County,
Lee
Eli
County.
Garrison. You said he's another version of Jackson Lamb. That was so Jackson Lambish.
That was Lambish right there. That was real Lambish right there.
An underthrown ball. Eli Garrison, the New Yorker, read it all the way, came back to it, and figured I'll just go ahead and take it in the end zone. Touchdown for the Jackets.
That was a nice find by Will Patterson there.
Yes, it was. Again, trouble with the snap.
Yeah.
So everything was broken. They might snap this. There's 5 guys up near the line of scrimmage. So they'll line it up. Kennedy Hernandez will kick this extra point. 23 seconds to go in a half, and that's a dagger for this Rose team that's kept this thing close. And offsides on the kick block team as Eddie Powell comes flying across trying to get there. This is a big play right here. Right now you're down 8, about to go into halftime. A converted extra point attempt here.
And here's 2 points here.
Well,
they're coming back in.
Figure you're going to put it 4.5 feet from the goal line. We're going to make you stop one of these big backs.
Yes, sir.
So they're going to run this straight up. It looks like the offensive back on the field. Tyreek McKendall in there.
Backfield.
Going to run the Wildcat. And he can go either way because you've got tailbacks in front of them that will block equally effectively going either way. But Tyreek McKendall from the gun trying to convert this 2-point conversion here. And we're going to get a timeout from Coach Bordeaux. There was some miscommunication. He's not happy. But we'll see what they decide to do. I'm telling you, Jerry, I might keep kick team out there and try this. The chance to go up 9 makes this a 2-score game. If you get stopped here, you're really doing Rose a favor, and you keep this a 1-score ball game. I don't know that there's enough benefit from stretching this out to a 10-point lead to make it worth the downside. What do you think?
One thing I have always said since Coach Bordeaux and Coach Jacobs came, one thing they do is make great halftime adjustments. So I think go for it right here.
Okay.
Go for it. I mean, you've always seen Lee County come out in the second half even better than they were in the first half. In games that you're able to keep the whole team out.
So your point is don't play scared.
Don't play scared.
All right.
Go get that money, man.
I guess you're right, because if this was a conference game, I'm sure that I would count on Lee County to do the same thing.
You got to get the money right now.
So you're going to play it like that and send a message to those guys. We think you can dominate for one play. And, again, just the eye test. You look at that Lee County offensive line versus that defensive line.
Look at that backfield.
That's a great starting point. You're absolutely right.
Look at that backfield. TJ.
All right, and Tyreek McKendall, who's no slouch himself when you talk about trying to bring him down. And ball snap behind him. McKendall trying to pick it up. And it all goes sideways. Another snap.
Snap issues.
Lee County win. And, you figure that you just as easily could have had a bad snap on the extra point attempt. But,
either way.
Special teams have been good to Lee County up to this point. That time it hurts them. And up 20-12 with 23 seconds to go. They'll come out here. They haven't been afraid to kick it deep yet.
I don't think they'll go deep this time.
I don't either. I don't know why you give them a chance to make a big play. And field position really not important with only 23 seconds to go in the half. Rose down to their final timeout. But we'll see what Coach Bordeaux does. You said don't play scared. He didn't on that, and it came back to bite him. But you have to be who you are, I suppose.
Got to be. And then, with them getting the ball right back, start of the second half, it was worth a gamble.
All right, Hernandez. 5 guys to the right, 5 guys to the left, not tipping their hand on anything here. We'll see what he does. They've got half a dozen different things they do in the kicking game. One, my favorite, is where they try to kick it on a line and have the guy on the end try to catch it.
Yeah.
And they've pulled it off a couple of times. I doubt we'll see that here this time. Hernandez kicking it deep.
Oh, he definitely goes back deep again.
We're not scared. Toward the sideline. If it stays in bound, that's trouble.
Oh, it stays
and it does.
in.
It drops. It comes down at the
kick.
4. Hamilton sidesteps. Now we've seen, and that's by design. Hernandez has got that in his kit bag. That time pulled off perfectly. Runs 3 seconds off the clock and sticks Rose all the way back inside the 5-yard line. They're going to mark him. Oh, no, they're going to give him out to the 7. But 93 yards to go for Rose with 20 seconds left.
Great kick. And that was a little Trey Underwoodish right there.
Yeah, very much was. Trey Underwood, man, in the state record books is one of the all-time leading scorers.
Top 3
in North Carolina State history. All right, Jarman drops. Don't want to take a safety here. That ball is batted. Danger close, just out of the reach of T.J. Johnson on the deflection. And if you're Coach Bland, maybe you take a knee here.
I definitely think so. You definitely don't want to give up a big play right here.
Well, in this defensive line, bringing pressure from all different angles, any one of those defenders can get there, beat their man, and sack you quickly. A safety would be a killer here.
Yeah.
Jarman looks like he's going to run this. No, they're going to hand it to Brown inside. Brown swarmed to, does a good job breaking out of tackles, and he'll be out near a first down. That'll take us down. I don't think the clock started on that play. 15 and a half left. They're going to need timeout. And on third down, interesting call here.
The clock definitely didn't run.
The clock didn't run. So a little home cooking maybe here. But a surprising call, 3rd and a yard. Now you're in a situation where if you get stopped, Lee County can make you punt it.
Yeah.
And we've seen a number of punts blocked by this Lee County team.
A number.
Oh, my goodness. So after consultation, they're going to give Rose the first down. Woof. I got nothing.
That was touchy. That's touchy right there.
I got nothing. That was an interesting spot. Okay.
That's all right, though. They'll be all right. I think so.
All right, so 1st and 10 now. Still 15.3 seconds left on the clock, just like there was before the last play they ran. And now with a fresh set of downs. All right, Coach Bland. So Coach Will Bland here, first-year coach with Rose, played wide receiver at ECU just up the road, and had been here on this staff for 12 years. The last 5 of those spent coaching the JV, and finally got his time and took him to an undefeated regular season. Throw is out there, got Hamilton. Hamilton going to step out and stop the clock at the 30-yard line, 10 seconds to go in the half.
This is where that clock not running, it comes into play.
Yeah, I mean, you're down at 4 or 5 seconds now if the clock ran that last play. Not only, the type of play with Brown bouncing off tackles, it wasn't a quick play. Looking down the field to Hamilton, throwing it down the seam. That's going to be Pitt.
There's my
Jackson
man.
Lamb. Making big plays in the playoffs is what he does.
There's my man.
And he's trying to get home
to
pay dirt.
Get 6.
Jackson Lamb cuts it back inside. He's dropped at the 10-yard line as we go to double zeros. Jackson Lamb read it all the way, and his eyes were big as pie plates trying to take that back. But he stopped short, and we'll go to halftime with the Lee County Yellow Jackets up 20-12 here on the road against J.H. Rose. We'll take a break, and we'll be back.
All you do is win, 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 no matter what. We got you on our mind, we can never get enough. Every time you step into our building, everybody's hands go up. And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. All you do is win, win, win. Put your hands in the air when you go to
Visit us us online at classicnissansanford.com or call 1-855-461-9595. Classic Nissan Sanford.
Welcome to the Classic Nissan Halftime Report.
Everybody at J.H. Rose happy with this draw either,
Right.
other than the fact that they got a home game. Little sketchy start from Lee County. Gave up the big play over the top to Hamilton, which was, predictable.
Yeah, that was going to happen.
Everybody that looked at any tape in preparation, I was in contact with the Lee County coaching staff as they looked at tape. I looked at stuff myself and was really kind of blown away with how good he is, and no letdown. Had a touchdown through the air on the big touchdown reception, and then followed it up out of the Wildcat to get the second touchdown for Rose, kind of keeping them in it. Other than that, without Michael Allen in this offense, the tailback everybody was scared of, really tough sledding for J.H. Rose. Lee County managed to get 3 scores on the board and really hasn't hit their stride on offense yet.
I haven't seen it yet, but I do know it's coming. I keep saying that it's coming. Lee Senior, for the last few years, they seem to explode in that second half.
Well,
and I think we will see that here.
Well, I tell you what, having watched this team, people talk about halftime adjustments, and oftentimes you hear more talk about than you actually see on the field. When it comes to route combinations and getting people into space, Coach Steve Bordeaux, I've heard people say genius. I don't like to say that word around him, but he's really good.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that you're going to see some different concepts in the passing game because they obviously want to get the ball down the field.
Yeah.
Now, J.H. Rose doing a good job of keeping this close because if they don't keep it close, you've seen Lee County can go into a mode where they just hand the ball off to a couple of backs and run clock on you. They haven't decided to do that yet, but it's out there. So Rose has got to keep this thing close. They can't come back from 2 or 3 scores down. It's going to be rough.
This second half, we're going to see Tyreek McKendall. They really didn't go to him a whole lot this first half. I think maybe they're saving him for this second half. But I know we're going to get a good dose of Tyreek McKendall this second half, possibly even more harder running as well, possibly even Tyreek in the backfield as well.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if you see jet sweep coming right back at Rose because we haven't seen a jet sweep yet. No. And Lee County, that's been a staple in their offense.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll see if they've kept it in their bag on purpose. We thought tonight we might see the change of pace in the backfield. B.J. Brown, though, we found out just before game time, a late scratch. So that's a weapon that's not available tonight. We'll see if he's available in, it's been a week-by-week thing for the last month and a half.
Definitely.
That's the freshman that came out, had 102 yards in the opening week, looked like he had a stranglehold on the number 1 running back position, has a bit of a wrist injury, and it's been week to week, unable to get him on the field yet. And I thought maybe last week they were playing possum and just didn't want to put him on tape.
I talked to him after the last home game right before the Southern game. He told me he was ready, but, save him. That's my thing. He's a nice, good-kept secret. I can tell you that much.
All right, got some stats for the first half, and pretty even. Lee County with 168 yards of total offense, 9 first downs. Will Patterson, 7 of 5 for 12 yards. That can't be right. 12 passes.
For 75 yards.
No. Hey, we got a new spotter. Got it. 12 passes, 7 completions, 5 incompletions. I'm like 7 of 5. What are you doing here? Anyway, 159 yards of offense for Rose, and they lead the first down battle with 11 first downs. I'm a little surprised that Rose has been able to sustain drives.
Yeah.
I thought if Rose was going to be in this game, it was going to be making big touchdowns, getting guys into space, really not able to get guys into space at all, and that's because they're trying to challenge the edges, and that plays to the strength of this Lee County defense.
And then also Lee County defense have gave up quite a few penalties right now, and that's really what pushed them down the field on that second touchdown drive. A couple pass interference, offside calls, those do come into play, and when you let a team like that sustain those drives, those things hurt in the end. But again, it's coming. Those are my words.
All right, we'll see.
Those are my words.
All right, been a great game so far. This is, like I said, a lot of eyes in the state of North Carolina are on this game. This is probably the premier matchup in the 3AA this week because of the ranking of the 2 teams involved in the game. We'll talk a little bit more about that. We'll be back after the break with the second half, and we may recruit a special guest to come on air with us. I see somebody sneaking around.
I think we can make that happen.
All right, we'll see you on the other side of the break. This has been the Classic Nissan Halftime Show. And before we get out of here,
okay,
I got to give you 30 seconds.
Okay.
The Classic Nissan Halftime Show. Classic Nissan is our sponsor.
Yes.
And one of the guys that we see anytime we're in and around Classic Nissan is standing right here with me.
Yes, sir.
If you're in the market for a car, new or used, Jerry Chalmers is your guy. You got 30 seconds, buddy.
I tell you what, come and see some of the deals that we have. 0% financing on a lot of our trucks, on our new trucks, and also 0% finance for 36 to 48 months. Short-term financing on a lot of our new vehicles. Short inventory of used cars, but we're ready for you. Come and see us and join the win-win team at Classic Nissan.
WilkinsonCars.com. Come visit us at our new location in Sanford. With the same great staff and the same great service. Test drive one of our many different vehicles. Check out our state-of-the-art service department and collision center, where our team can have you back on the road in no time. We're right across from Walmart at 3335 North Carolina 87 South. Schedule your appointment online at WilkinsonCars.com or call us at 919-842-3322. We guarantee we're the place to be at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com.
Star at Lee County for the last couple of years, and for a lot of people, the last they knew you were headed to UNC. Things changed up a little bit, and you have decided that you're going to ECU instead.
Yes,
and
sir.
You are getting prepared for this season right now. Talk about what your role is going to be on this team.
Basically playing defensive back.
You going to get any punt returns into?
I'm kick return.
Kick return?
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. So what's it like being a college freshman with all the added responsibility of getting ready to play Division I football?
It's tough. It is.
What's the hardest part?
Meetings.
Meetings?
Yeah, I'm 2 hours long.
Oof.
Yes, sir.
It's struggle to stay awake?
Oh, yeah. I just about fell asleep in one meeting already, so.
All right. So how does the coach react? You get things thrown at you, you get yelled at, they just tell you you're just not going to get playing? All right. All right, very good. So how much do you suspect you're going to play as a freshman?
All you got to do is practice hard, earn your playing time.
Okay, very
Yes,
good. Tell me something about Greenville, North Carolina that I don't know.
It kind of reminds me of Sanford, North Carolina. It's a small town, so. Yeah.
Got it. Now, talking about Sanford, you've been here and watched the first half. Give me some analysis from your trained eye. I'm just a guy that talks about football. You know football in and out. What do you see and what do you suspect you'll see differently in the second half?
I think we're going to come out strong. We got Tyreek, Jaden, Ken, Delmaz, JoJo, Duran. All them, they've been in that type of situation from last year's state championship, so they should already know what to do.
Any temptation to sneak over to the sideline and get some shoulder pads?
I want to.
I know you do, and we want you to too. So last year, you guys with that magical run all the way to the state final with Weddington, how long is that game going to haunt you? Because you guys were close. And I know looking at tape, you look at it and you're like, man, we were really a couple plays away. How much do you think about that now a year and a half later?
Every day.
Every day?
Yes, sir.
Well, I hope at ECU you get to play in games big enough that is far into your rearview mirror.
Yes,
what
sir.
are you studying at ECU?
Sports studies.
Okay.
That's my major right now.
All right, very good. You have time for studies? You in the gym and all the rest of that?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. We got study hall almost an hour and a half every day.
All right, very good. Well, we'll have our eyes on you up here. We got, Lee County alums all over the place. You're the only one currently at ECU, but I understand you're having conversations trying to get some people come up behind you. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm not going to make you drop names, but don't be surprised if you see some Yellow Jackets that put on that purple and gold here in the next couple of years. Hey, man, we appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us.
Yes, sir.
And good luck for the Jackets in the second half.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, we'll come back after the break. Teams are back out on the field. We'll see the kickoff on the other side. You're watching the NFHS Game of the Week.
Pentair. Empowering people to move water. Improve water. Enjoy water. So that people can live their best, healthiest lives. Lives with purpose. Lives with enjoyment. Lives that flourish. Lives with hope. Because at Pentair, we're not just about better water. We're about better life. Pentair, bringing water to life, for life.
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce. Because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
All right, welcome back. Chris Delambert, Jerry Chalmers here on the call. Your halftime score is 20-12. The Lee County Yellow Jackets, if there were a favorite in this game, it's really kind of a toss-up if you look at rankings. Now, when you look at the size weight comparison between the schools, Lee County with a little bit of an edge.
Yeah.
Rose was concerned about that size, and with a lead and the ball to open the second half, I wouldn't be surprised if Lee County tries to exploit that and lean on this team a little bit. What we're seeing from Rose is a lot more guys going both ways than we are from Lee County. Of course, we've talked and called their numbers. TJ Johnson and JoJo Jennings going both ways, playing tailback and linebacker, but those really are the only guys. Come on, Palmer's playing some wide receiver, but you see Palmer's coming in and out of the game a lot. They're not trying to run him to death. Rose, on the other hand, has got 7 or 8 guys that are in there most of these snaps, and that's going to wear these guys out at some point.
It definitely will come into play as the game go on. And I just say the more that TJ and JoJo delivers punishment, it's going to wear them down. And then you're going to follow up with Rodney Ingram. And you're going to get this dose in this second half. Just watch what I tell you of Tyreek McKendall. It's coming.
Number 2.
It's coming.
It's not been a factor so far. They put him in on the 2-point conversion in the Wildcat. The snap got past him. They tried to get it to him on the opening series, and the ball was a little too hot when it went over his head. But, ladies and gentlemen, if you're tuning in from somewhere around the state or around the country and you haven't seen Tyreek McKendall over the last couple of years, he is a special athlete. And of this very talented Lee County team, especially the junior class, he's the first one with an offer. Army has stepped up. They seem to be the school that's out ahead of everybody else with the sort of broken recruiting schedule. But Army is offered, and we suspect pretty much everybody in the country is going to be behind him.
Definitely a lot more coming. His name will be out there at the end of this season, and you will definitely see a lot more from Tyreek McKendall.
So McKendall and Johnson in particular, those are the 2 premier athletes in this junior class.
Yes.
Are you tempted to ease off the throttle on the 7-on-7s and the camps that are coming up with such a quick turnaround to next season, or do you really get out there and try and get somebody's attention? How do you play that?
I think more so with the camps this season, those one-day camps at the actual college, they're going to come into play a lot more than some of the 7-on-7s. I mean, it's going to be, like you said, a real quick turnaround. So by the time you start going to these camps and getting your name out there like that, the 7-on-7s won't be much as needed. Now, as far as the break of last season, because of how COVID did, those 7-on-7s played a major part in a lot of the recruiting. Those 7-on-7s made T.J. Johnson a cover linebacker.
All right. The clock to start the half is at 00. The teams are onto the field. Lee County will receive. Deep for the Jackets, you've got Anthony Smith and Tyreek McKendall. McKendall is the return man on the left, on the far side of your screen as we pan out. Rose got to play a near perfect second half to keep this thing in range and rip off a couple scores. Nice crowd here, still not at capacity. We're still dealing with COVID restrictions and everything else, just like everybody else in the state. But it is a very vocal crowd. In that student section, good on them. Those guys have been hollering and screaming from the very beginning. All right, they kick it away from McKendall over Smith's head. Smith bobbles it into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. North Carolina high school rules, once the ball crosses the plane of the goal line on a kickoff, it's dead, whether it's been muffed or not. So Lee County will take up and set up shop after the touchback. All right, we've talked during the Classic Nissan halftime show about the adjustments Lee County has made, and Coach Bordeaux, the head coach and the offensive coordinator, calls his own plays. He is the mind behind this offense. Not only has this playbook kind of opened wider, but he's gotten better and better at adjustments. We're about to find out what adjustments he's looking at. All right, Patterson, hands up the middle. Johnson dragging tacklers, but only gets a couple. Now Tyreek McKendall matched up man-to-man down here on the near side, and the Jackets' inability to get the ball to him may have rocked these guys to sleep a little bit. There is no safety help. And to the wide side of the field with McKendall, he's got tight man coverage. Patterson looking the other way, zips it, looking for Jackson Lamb, threw it too hard and past him and almost picked by Rose, and off just like that, 3rd and 9. I thought they might attack the seams a little bit, but Patterson sort of locked into his receiver. And while he's an experienced starting quarterback, he's only got 7 starts under his belt. That one he might have tipped. Now they'll go 3 wide to the wide side down here on the near side of the field. Patterson drops, looks the other way, got that wheel route again, and has got his man T.J. Johnson. Great defensive play to break it up, underthrown by about a foot. And the defender ran that down. Some of that team speed showing up right there for Rose. As they knock it away, T.J. Johnson was behind the defense. The call was there. Patterson unable to deliver it. And Rose with a huge play. And there's too many men on the field. Here comes a flag. As Hamilton was slow getting off the field, the return man is wrapped up. See, interesting call here for Lee County. It was a good punt, not a great punt. If they accept the penalty, that'll mark it up and make it about 4th and 3, and they can kick it again, or they can contemplate going for it, although you wouldn't suspect they'd do that.
Yeah.
But Hamilton was coming off the field. He was a little lackadaisical getting to the sideline and was probably 10, 12 yards short of the sideline when the ball was snapped. And that'll get him 5 yards. Coach Bordeaux talking about it. Couple options here. Right now the ball's marked at the 46-yard line for Rose. And still no decision. I think Coach Bordeaux trying to talk him into adding that to the end of the kick. All right, and it looks like
that's what they'll be doing.
That's what's going to happen. They decline the penalty, so Rose will take over at the 46-yard line, 1st and 10. And the first 42 seconds of the second half go pretty well for Rose.
Come out with a good defensive stance right there. You know,
they do.
A couple underthrown passes, but it's coming.
All right, Wade Jarman with Flavon Brown still in the backfield. Michael Allen, the All-State candidate at tailback, out for the game. Kevin Hamilton on his own down here on the near side of the screen. I believe that's where 3 is lined up. Jarman getting late instructions. Snaps, hands up the middle to Brown. Brown, good hard running, picks up about 4 on the play. So we see this from time to time, different schools. Rose using a series of graphics to call their offense. Tough sledding there for Brown. He only gets about a yard, 3rd and 5 coming up. But they've got an interesting set of graphics that they use to call the offense. It's logos from different sports teams. And it's a mix of pro teams and college teams. And then on another one, they've got logos with pizza on them. It's kind of wild. Hamilton going to have a first down. Runs his man, Kenyon Palmer, trying to drag him down. Never does get him to the ground. Hamilton gets about 10 on the catch, and will have a first down for Rose, keeping the drive alive. On 3rd down, they're always trying to find number 3.
Those quick passes with Lee Senior, with the Yellow Jacket playing so far back, those quick passes they can hurt.
All right, Jarman fakes the snap. Now changes the play. Lee County showing pressure. And quick out again to Hamilton. Hamilton saw his man coming. Ooh. Landon Johnson peeled out of there playing zone coverage. Dropped out of his defensive line position and over there to Hamilton. And Hamilton saw him coming.
Number 9, you know Johnson's nickname, Slink.
I did not know.
Yeah, that's old Slink right there. Yes, sir.
Well, if Slink can put on 15 or 20 pounds, he's going to play ACC football. Jarman drops, no pressure. Now it comes late and slips out of that. Slink comes up there, misses the tackle, but forces him to sidestep, and Rodney Ingram cleans it up. Jarman will get 2, and that brings up 3rd down. Yeah, Landon Johnson is one of those guys that's so tall he jumps off the tape at you because you can't miss him.
Right.
And has put on a significant amount of weight, but he's got 15 or 20 pounds to go.
Well, that body can hold. He can hold 15
and
20
he can
more.
Run, and he is a very heady player. They do a lot with him on this defensive front. Now he's going to cover the slot receiver on 3rd down. 3rd and 8. Jarman looking down the middle, has a man, throws it late for Clavon Brown out of the backfield, and has the reception down near the 20. And another Rose first down as they string 2 back-to-back 3rd down conversions together.
Quick slants.
All right, so Rose knocking on the door of the red zone. Jarman looking good in this second half. Hamilton comes in motion, going to take the jet sweep, nowhere to go.
Oh, big hit. Who was that?
Comes
Jackson Lamb.
Jackson Lamb comes up and fills the hole, nowhere to go, loses a yard. And I'm impressed by Lee County's ability to cover this jet sweep. I think in covering the jet sweep, they're sacrificing a little bit on those short outs.
Definitely.
Because they're playing that jet sweep honest. But 2nd and 10, they're going to give them forward progress back to the line of scrimmage. Change is coming on this defense now. All right. A lot of conversation coming on with Rose over there. I don't know what the confusion is. They got a penalty. I didn't see the call. Personal foul. I don't know where it came from.
Big.
Wow. I missed that.
Yes, big penalty plays.
But that'll bring them another Rose first down, brought to you by Pence Air. And the ball's at the 12, which is even more important. And Rose is really knocking on the door now inside the Zaxby's red zone. Jarman in at quarterback, Clavon Brown in the backfield the whole way with him. Fakes it, no hands to Brown. Brown dragged down. And at linebacker, number 50 for Lee County.
It's a new one.
It is. Checked in and gets his number called immediately. And I'm scrambling. All right, Jarman under pressure. It's coming, throws it across the middle. Jackson Lamb breaks that up. Jackson Lamb doing Jackson Lamb things.
Yes, sir. Action Jackson.
All right, so 3rd and about 12 for Rose here, trying to capitalize. They spread them out. Jarman drops, throws it quick. Oh, nice play.
Delmaz
Jennings saves the conversion attempt, I tell you what, he had room to run.
He really did.
So number 50 checking out of the game, that's Aiden Roney. I don't even recall him being in a game yet this year, Jerry.
Well, he came in and made a big play.
He really did.
Next man up.
And fourth down, Rose doesn't hesitate. They're going to keep the offense on the field. 8:49 to go, down 8. If Lee County can hold here, it'll be a huge victory for this defense. Jarman pumps, going toward throwing that fade over the top, and juggled, and they're going to give it to him in the corner of the end zone. Kevin Hamilton with his 3rd touchdown of the game. He's a one-man gang.
Double move there.
And Jarman with that full body pump with the shoulders, throwing it up. That's a big target, and he's able to run under it. Juggling it, the Lee County players felt like he juggled it going out of bounds. The referee saw it the other way, and they're going to give it to him, 20-18. And that whole conversation we had about that conversion attempt a little while ago.
We have a game.
Lee County going for 2 and being stopped may come back to haunt if Rose is able to tie this thing up here. Hamilton from the gun in the Wildcat. He hands, and that is not going to do it. That's going to stay 2018 Lee County. An enormous play.
Big play.
An enormous play. It stays at a 2-point lead for the Jackets. 8:42 to go in the 3rd quarter. Folks, we got us a barn burner here on the NFHS Game of the Week. We'll be back with the kickoff after these messages.
WilkinsonCars.com. Come visit us at our new location in Sanford. With the same great staff and the same great service. Test drive one of our many different vehicles. Check out our state-of-the-art service department and collision center, where our team can have you back on the road in no time. We're right across from Walmart at 3335 North Carolina 87 South. Schedule your appointment online at WilkinsonCars.com or call us at 919-842-3322. We guarantee we're the place to be at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
All right, welcome back. I think a lot of folks I talked to expected a close ball game. They got what they bargained for. And regardless of who you're pulling for, you love to see a competitive football game. You know, in the playoffs, in that first round with traditional seeding, you tend to see a lot of blowouts. This year it's a wonky year, wonky seedings. And we said this would be one of the premier games of the night in the state, and it is. Rose kicking off and kicking away from number 2. They know where he's at. They get it to Smith. Smith takes it at the 12. He can do some damage. He's got a head of steam. Cuts it back up the middle and pushing tacklers all the way out to the 40-yard line.
Good return.
28 on the return for Anthony Smith, who is a weapon that doesn't get a whole lot of touches, but he will as time goes on, sir.
Had a big return against Southern Lee last week.
Yes, he did.
Nice kickoff return.
All right, Lee County trying to get untracked on offense. Really haven't looked comfortable yet in the passing game and have not committed to the running game yet. McKendall in motion. There's the jet sweep coming around the left. And he's picking his way.
That dose of Tyreek McKendall.
Puts his head down and has 12 on the reception. I hate that they call it a reception when the ball moves a foot forward. But that'll be a Lee County first down, and that's what you want to see.
Definitely nice to see that. Definitely see that nice. Tyreek McKendall is definitely coming in.
All right, Lee County trying to string a couple more of those together. Patterson takes a snap, drops, looking down the field, throws off his back foot for Jackson. And Jackson turned his hands the wrong way. Had his hands up, probably should have turned them the other way, but close, very close. Jackson Lamb with a couple of big plays already in the game, unable to convert that, and a nice delivery from Patterson off his back foot.
Nice throw.
But all that noise, it's still 2nd and 10. Patterson takes a look, hands inside, and
look at JoJo there.
JoJo
nice
Jennings
move.
Gets about 6 with the nifty little move. That's a big man to be doing a pirouette like that. But that'll be third and manageable, and that's where Lee County hasn't had enough of that. A lot of third and long here.
Yeah.
This is more what you want to see. 3rd and 4, just past midfield. Probably 4-down territory. They play it pretty loose in terms of going for it. So the whole playbook is open here.
2 safeties now.
All right, Patterson. Johnson in at tailback. He's going to hand to Johnson. Johnson picking his way, going laterally. Now he's out to the right. Now he can do damage. He's running over folks, and he'll be all the way down to the 15-yard line. That's 27 on the run. He never looked like he got to top speed.
Never. He never did. He has a 6-yard stride, it looks like. I'll tell you, man.
Really a long striding young man. He has, I guess, sneaky lateral movement.
Mm-hmm.
You don't suspect you're going to see when a guy has strides that long, but really effective.
Yes.
And once he gets into the open field, man.
He's hard to bring down, too.
All right, so 7:25 to go. Johnson bounces it out to the left. Still moving, trying to strip the ball. The arm tackles aren't going to work, young man. All right, so he's going to get about 6 on first down. And we're starting to see a little bit more what we thought we might, a commitment to the running game. Back-to-back runs for the first time in a while right there. Clock getting down towards 7 minutes. Lee County up by 2, and there's a late flag. Not sure what happened here. Clavon Brown was involved. We'll see what's going on. I guess a little bit of barking going on both sides, because we've seen some calls we haven't really understood.
Yeah.
Jaquarius Brown comes off the field, which is a pretty good indicator he might have been involved. Coach Dunstan wants to have a closer conversation with him.
Now, TJ comes off and Rodney Ingram comes in. Now, I expect to see Rodney right here carry the ball.
All right, and this is going to be a lot easier because they're going to have 1st and goal here as they mark it up to the 7-yard line, half the distance. Was that illegal participation?
I missed it.
And you know what it was? The too many men on the field. And you can tell because Brown ran off the field and nobody came on. So miscommunication there. And what you've got going on, I think the chains are confused. I think we're going to have 1st and goal here at the 7-yard line. So too many men on the field at a critical time.
I think we're going to get some of Big Baby right
here. We go.
That's Rodney Ingram, Big Baby.
Rodney Ingram. Jackson Lamb in motion.
Jackson Lamb. It's going to be Lamb.
Lamb.
That's him.
Touchdown, Jackets. He's in there.
Sir.
Rolls over top of the defender. No, they're going to mark him down.
Oh, down on the one.
Looked an awful lot like he rolled over the defender's body. But no, they're going to mark him down about a foot short. And now, sir, you shall see Rodney Ingram.
We will see Big Baby right now. That's his nickname.
Big Baby?
Big Baby. That's
Big Baby. If you can stop him from a yard out, then you've done your job. This guy had been running angry for a long time. Patterson from the game.
No.
Patterson going
to
keep.
See Will.
Will Patterson, touchdown.
Yes, sir, touchdown. Hey, so Lee County answers right back.
And did it all on the ground.
All on the ground.
I mean, you can call those little jet sweep passes if you want to, but it's part of the running game.
That's part of the running game.
And with 6:19, Lee County committing to
the
run. 26-18, Hernandez on. They're going to play this straight. They didn't even go to the fake formation. Big play here. This makes it a 2-score game. Hold is down. Kick is up. It is good. And that is Lee County up by 9 halfway through the 3rd quarter. We'll take a quick break from the NFHS Game of the Week, and we'll be back on the other side of the break.
All you do is win, 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 no matter what. We got you on our mind, we can never get enough. Every time you step into our building, everybody's hands go up. And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. All you do is win, win, win. Put your hands in the air when you go down.
Visit us online at ClassicNissanSanford.com or call 1-855-461-9595. Classic Nissan Sanford.
All right, welcome back to first-round coverage of the North Carolina 3A playoffs. As we get deeper into this game, we'll try to take a peek at the other games in this bracket and kind of figure out what the winner of this game might be facing as we move on through the next couple of weeks. Lee County, of course, looking to a chance to avenge last year's runner-up finish in the 3AA. Weddington, got to be your favorites coming out of the West, but they'll have some stiff competition. Charlotte Catholic will have something to say about that. All right, the kick from Hernandez is deep. Hamilton on the run, fields it going the wrong direction, brings it back. He's up to 15. Oh,
good tackle.
Had he stepped through that hole, he might have been running a while, but instead the Jackets bring him down. And I love the fact that they're fearless in the kick game.
Special
and they're like,
teams.
Beat us.
Special teams. They're really good. Last year they gave up quite a few. That's why a lot of times they didn't kick it deep. They gave up quite a few long runs on special teams. This year, I mean, they're showing that they can definitely make the open field tackles.
All right. Rose comes out. And I misspoke just a second ago. Charlotte Catholic not playing in the 3AA. Jarman Hands, nothing doing.
Dudley.
Now you're going to start to see this Lee County defense as we get deeper into this game, playing downhill, shooting gaps. And a good example there is Brown only gets a yard.
You do have Dudley on this side. Is it Dudley on this side
Dudley
as well?
Dudley is playing in the west.
Okay.
So just for those at home who are paying attention, in the east, all that lateral pursuit from this defense.
Mr. Jennings there again.
JoJo tracks that down. Several Jackets help to string it out.
Oh,
Jennings
that one hurt.
Cleans it out. And we've got a Rose player down on the sideline. See if they take a break. He's actually off the field. And they're going to take a break. And while they do, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with some more action in the NFHS Game of the Week.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com. All
right, welcome back. The coaching staff still tending to the injured rampant, and while they do, we'll give a quick update. So for those that are interested, in the East, which is where Lee County and Rose are playing, and for those who aren't clear, what happens is in a normal year, it's the top 32 teams in 3A are selected into the playoffs. Then they are broken in half by the school size of the school, and they go between 3AA and 3A. Because of COVID, that was cut in half this year, the top 64.
Yeah.
Cut in half this year. So what you've got is 16 teams playing in this tournament for the 3AA championship. And in this bracket, the game that is most interesting to this group of teams, all right, Jarman drops. Looking down the field, throws it long, undercut, and picked. Carlos Hancock.
Mr. Hancock.
Carlos Hancock may be the most improved player on that defense this year.
I'll give you that.
And walks it down. That's the third pick for Lee County today. And they're turning around, and Rose got to be really, really careful right now. All right. So in this part of the bracket, the winner of this game gets the winner of the Cleveland Southern Durham game. Most people would tell you that Cleveland, Lee, and Rose might be the best three teams in this draw of 8.
That way, yeah.
So Cleveland, who you probably say might be the number one team in the East before they lost O'Marion Hampton, they are up on Southern Durham 49-0 in the third quarter. TJ Johnson stretching those legs out, leaning forward, gets 4 on the carry. So Cleveland handling business.
Definitely.
And there was speculation, O'Marion Hampton, we've been talking about him for 3 years now. He's a junior, probably the number one tailback prospect in the state.
Definitely.
Well, maybe number 2. You got a young man at Weddington to have something to say about that. Will Shipley's pretty nice back. But Hampton is out with a broken ankle.
Yeah.
So Cleveland, people thought, well, maybe. Well, no. They're up 49-0 on Southern Durham.
And to know Will Shipley is actually gone. He's at Clemson.
I didn't realize he had left.
Yes, sir. So, hey.
Well, there you go.
I'm definitely giving O'Marion Hampton number 1.
That's why you're here doing color and analysis tonight.
I follow it pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Right, Lee County with the first down there across midfield. 4.5 to go. And the pace for this Lee County offense has slowed dramatically. They're still not going to huddle, but they're going to try and work some clock and shorten this ball game.
You now move Tyreek to the slot as well.
Here comes Johnson again. Johnson stops, restarts, picks up 2. It'll be 2nd and 8. So you're right. I didn't realize Shipley was not out there.
He's at Clemson.
That explains some things. I went looking for stats the other day and couldn't find any. I assumed they were playing possum. So, yeah, Omarion Hampton, who
Number
also
one.
There's speculation might not play next season.
Next season, not at all.
Coming off the injury, getting ready to go wherever he decides he's going to go. Any inside information on where he might commit?
I actually don't know. His dad really talked highly about Ohio State.
I'd be a fan of that.
Mm-hmm. There's
All right,
Tyreek
fakes to
McKinnon.
Johnson, throws it to McKinnon. McKinnon tackled by his ankles, but he'll have another Pentair first down for the Jackets.
Now they've moved Jaden Marshall out to the wideout and moved Tyreek McKinnon into the slot. That now it's coming.
That's the kind of adjustment
It's coming.
that we were talking about.
That's the adjustments.
And interesting that they've moved Hamilton away from that safety spot. They've really got him kind of playing corner. He comes down and is matched up on Marshall, who you just talked about. And I think we're going to have a false start here. So everything going well until right there for Lee County. That'll back him up 1st and 15. So in the other half of the Eastern draw, where, not to throw any stones at anybody, but you've got West Brunswick and Chapel Hill and Southeast Guilford and Clayton. Now, if you look at the numbers as to where those teams finished up the regular season in any of the ranking services, and that's incomplete, second down coming, you can make a pretty good case that Cleveland, J.H. Rose, and Lee County, who are all clumped together in this quadrant,
definitely
are the best 3 teams. You can make a case for Southeast Guilford, but the strength of the East is in this quadrant, and to be honest, next week, not to get ahead of anything, next week might be the de facto Eastern Championship, so we'll see how it shakes out.
Hey, it seemed that way last year, Cleveland and Lee County.
And Cleveland gave Lee County everything they wanted.
Man.
Now, Cleveland will be hosting that game, assuming they hold on to their 49-point lead right now. McKendall on the jet sweep. Great job. Oh, Rose came up, blocked it up, and McKendall just ran through a tackler. They got a late flag coming out. Got to be a block in the back, I suppose.
There's a lot of late flags coming out there.
A lot of flags, period, all night. They're talking about it. And to see the reaction of the Lee County offensive line, you think it's coming against them. Duran McCoy not very happy with whatever's about to be called here. He's doing double duty tonight, playing on an offensive line. And they save him on the offensive line for special occasions.
Yeah. Last year he got a lot of snaps on the offensive line, more offensive line than defense.
Yeah, and if he weren't so important on that defensive line and so productive, he'd probably line up all the time with that offensive line. But right now he's in there at right tackle. And after the penalty, it's going to back Lee County up. They'll replay 2nd down, but it'll be 2nd and there we go. PA's got it wrong. Chains had it wrong, but we had it right. It's 2nd and long. 2nd and about 18 for the Jackets. JoJo Jennings in there at tailback. A concerted effort from Lee County to get the ball into Tyreek McCandless's hands. Look at Jennings. Jennings right up the middle, looking for somebody.
He did not want that.
None of that.
He did not want any of that. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
JoJo Jennings.
That's a load right there, buddy.
A business decision by Eddie Powell.
Yeah, man. I might have would have did the same thing. And I mean, I'm
a grown man.
Man, I'm a grown man.
Yeah.
I couldn't blame him.
So Eddie Powell came up from the safety spot, put a shoulder down, and closed his eyes and hoped for the best. T.J. Johnson, they fake it to him, and Patterson's going to keep it and get brought down. Nice play by Rose. But, yeah, the secondary, JoJo got out there, and this is the time of game where those hits have started to pile up.
Yeah.
Jennings doing damage.
Yeah.
All right, Lee County inside the Zaxby's red zone at the 5-yard line, 2nd and goal. Whew.
JoJo has definitely been the highlighted back tonight. Got to be very close to over 100 yards.
All right, because here's some more updates. Clayton is up 21-10 on Southeast Guilford. We just said Southeast Guilford And Patterson keeping it again, calling his own number.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Jackets.
Will Patterson.
Patterson with his second touchdown on the night.
Amen.
Both of them on the ground.
Amen.
All right. So Lee County up 33-18, just a little bit left in the third quarter. They're starting to stretch their legs out. We'll give you some updates. Cleveland, we talked about the fact that, Southeast Guilford, we talked about they may be in that top four. Well, they're down. Yeah. Clayton is all over them, 21-10 in the fourth quarter. That one's getting late. And Hernandez gets it in there and stretches it out, 34-18. We'll stay here during the break. I want to talk about these scores. All right, Cleveland is still up on Durham, 49-0. West Brunswick is up 35-29 on Chapel Hill. 1:19 to go. Chapel Hill trying the onside kick as we speak. Dudley leads Watauga 21-0. Nobody wants to play Dudley at all.
Hey,
ever.
Watauga was actually pretty solid last year. I'm not sure what happened between last year and this year.
Well, I mean, they're in the playoffs.
That's very
and
true.
Dudley is always going to be an enormous team. We've seen enough of Dudley over the years, including a first-round exit a couple years ago that still stinks.
All on a broken play.
Yeah.
I got to say that. It was on a broken play.
It was.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Dudley couldn't throw the ball all night. And
long.
Late in the fourth quarter threw this crazy little pass that went the distance. It was the difference in the game.
Yep.
All right, Brown is up on TC Roberson 22-15. Weddington all over Asheville 28-0. And Mount Tabor leads Alexander Central 34-0. So the important part for those of you tuned into this game specifically is that Cleveland is going to be the host next week for the winner of this ball game.
Yes, sir.
Right now it's leaning toward Lee County. They're up 34-18 with a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. So some of the energy being sucked out of here.
We can get a rematch from last year. It's possible.
Well, I'm sure that there's some people over in Cleveland that want a matchup. They want a do-over. Bobbled, but held on to. And
Oh, good tackle.
Nice play there as Kendarius Geddes, one of these speedsters, was close. But if you're Lee County and you're looking at this, it's hard not to be a little upset you run the table in the regular season, come out of conference unscathed, unchallenged, and you get a draw where you have to play Rose in round one and then travel to Cleveland in round two, where in a normal year, got to be honest, you'd be playing bunnies at home for the first couple rounds.
Definitely.
So this is a different year. You know, everybody adjusting, and this is one of the sacrifices. And two, everybody associated with the program in an official capacity. We saw a lot of complaining out on social media from teams that didn't make it, teams that didn't like the seedings. Hey, Lee County's take has been, we're going to play whoever we have to play.
Oh, yeah.
And we're just going to go out there and play football.
Oh, yeah. Gang tackler right there.
All right, Geddes on the screen, picks up about half of what he needs. 2nd and 5 coming up. A couple more plays left in this third quarter. And, of course, you always get that from coaching staffs. You know, hey, we're just going to line up and play. But these guys mean it.
Oh, yeah.
They're not scared of anybody.
Definitely do.
And to be honest, they know what it's going to take to win a state championship. And if you're complaining about Cleveland in the second round, you know, what are you going to say about Weddington in the final if that's who you match up with?
Right.
All right, that'll be a first down for Rose on a nice little pop pass to Clavon Brown.
And I see a lot of with Weddington this year, without them having Will Shipley, you know they're coming back with a really good offensive line. Really good offensive line. They had also had a linebacker who graduated last year. Now is playing in Air Force.
Yes.
So he was MVP of the game.
There's an offsides call against Rodney Ingram on the defensive line. He was the guy I didn't see as much on tape that jumped out during the game.
29 tackles. 29
That's
tackles.
Unbelievable.
And they're losing that and losing Will Shipley, and yet you're still in the playoffs.
Now, let's talk about something for a second, though. And I don't want to get too far away from the game, but Weddington is one of the schools that benefits from being in a conference that has open enrollment.
Very much so.
Just like Terry Sanford down there in Fayetteville. And Weddington's going to replace those athletes with others. Nice play back there. 54 on the tackle.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have those down. That's Duran McCoy playing linebacker now. No, he just came over from the end spot. Cross me up a little bit. All right. We'll see if Rose tries to get in a play before the end of the quarter. 8 seconds. Yep. Jarman drops under pressure. Here it comes. Wrapped up, throwing deep, looking for Hamilton, and caught one-handed as Hamilton goes out of bounds. Let me tell you something.
Hey,
he's down at the 15 inside the Zaxby's red zone. Hamilton, I said earlier, he's a one-man gang.
You said it.
Now, recruiting and everything else, there's some factors. Hamilton, small school type young man coming out of this program. I don't know where he's going to land, but if he does what he needs to do wherever for the next couple of years, he'll be playing at one of the big programs in the country.
Oh, yeah.
That young man can play some football, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, they stopped the clock. They say there's 4:10. There's an injury back here. Is that Jarman? It is,
sir.
And they're warming up. He got sandwiched between McCoy and Jennings, and Rose suddenly warming up their backup quarterback, Owen Boyd, the sophomore, 5'7", 160. Well, Jarman pops up. He's not going to stay out of there long. They're going to have to take him out for a play. He doesn't know that yet. He's complaining about it.
We may see the Wildcat instead, you know.
We might.
Just to leave him, just to keep him.
Well, and I think you're right, because Boyd over here on the sideline is still warming up. Jarman still not happy that he has to come out of the game for at least a play. Hamilton's still in there after making the big catch. I think is going to probably line up at quarterback here. This will be the last play of the quarter, I suspect. 34-18, Lee County up, trying to keep that lead intact. Here's Hamilton with the snap. They string it out, and nobody was set.
Nobody was set.
Nobody was set. Lee County was still making adjustments. It looked like Rose almost tried to quick snap him, and Hamilton didn't let his guys get set. Jarman comes back into the game, but he's going to be 5 yards backed up. Ball currently at about the 15. They'll walk it back to the 20, and we'll do this all over again. Yeah, that's you know, when you run the Wildcat every now and again, that's the type of thing you can expect to happen.
Yeah.
Especially coming out of a situation where you're disjointed. Nobody was really sure who was going in at quarterback. Now Jarman's back out there. Looks like the same personnel we've seen most of the night. Hamilton's going to line up in the slot at the top side of the formation. And can't end the quarter on a penalty. I think they're talking about whether or not there's time left on the clock. Clock's at double zeros for the quarter. Yep, they're going to run one more play. Clavon Brown in the backfield with Wade Jarman. And another flag. Are we going to get a timeout? Hand still waving in the air up on the far side of the field. And they're going to get well, he just signaled timeout toward Rose, but I think it's Lee County taking a timeout. All right, so a timeout, Lee County. I don't know what they saw. I don't know if they thought they were going to get another dose of Wildcat, but they're going to talk about it, and this quarter just won't quite end. All right. 1st and 15. Got to say I'm kind of impressed with the music selections here tonight for the PA folks at Rose. This is the first time I've been up here. First time I've actually been to Greenville.
Yeah.
You obviously are a regular. You about to start, paying county taxes in Greenville.
As much as I have to come down here from him calling me. Yeah. I might as well be paying taxes in Greenville. But you definitely got to make a game with me this year, Chris. If you've never been here, the football atmosphere in Greenville, North Carolina is like none other. I promise you that. I fell in love with it from day one. Fell in love.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, ECU gets App State early in the season.
First game of the season, September 2nd. It will be Jaden. Jaden from Lee County at ECU. You have Jameer Smith, who's the tailback at App State now. You have DeAndre Dingle Prince, who's a defensive lineman at App State. They're going to meet September the 2nd at Bank of America Stadium, Panther Stadium. So that's going to be big. That's going to be big for Lee County. So
absolutely,
definitely going to be big for Lee County.
Absolutely, Jameer Smith, who starred at Lee County for several years and then took his trade to Notre Dame as a graduate transfer, coming back closer to home and be at App State. And when he signed with App State, people were kind of scratching their heads, and then the transfers started happening.
Yeah.
And when it's all said and done, it looks like Jameer Smith might be the feature back for a year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So he knew what was going on. All right, Hamilton in at Wildcat after all that. 1st and 15. Hamilton dances, now takes it straight ahead, stuffed in the hole. T.J. Johnson comes up and gives a lick. And it'll be 2nd and 10 when we come back to start the fourth quarter. You're watching the NFHS Game of the Week.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. Hi, I'm David Fashee, and we are First Bank.
All right, welcome back to the fourth quarter of this first round matchup between J.H. Rose and the Lee County Yellow Jackets. 34-18. Lee County up 2 touchdowns, but Rose hanging in there down at around the 15-yard line. They'll have second down when we come out of the break. Got a little bit of issue with Mr. Chalmers' headset. We'll get that sorted out, and I'll fly solo here for a little bit. So 12 minutes to go in this ball game. Fourth quarter opens up, and it will be.
Is that it there? There we go.
Yeah, there we go. You're back.
There we go.
Congratulations. I'm amazed that's the first time this had to happen. So you know firsts as we move through this.
You know, fourth quarter down here in Greenville, they call it no quarter.
All right, Jarman rolls, got plenty of space. Jarman gonna keep it. And Jackson Lamb comes up and forces him up. That looked dangerous there for a minute. He'll pick up good yardage. Forced out of bounds at around the 9-yard line. Third down coming up. Definitely 4-down territory for Rose here in this fourth quarter. Third and about 3. And this is, you know, when you're a big play offense that relies on getting guys into space, playing against a bigger team with as much lateral quickness as Lee County, this has been tough.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Jarman takes a snap. He rolls. He's under pressure.
Oh, there
McCoy.
he is.
McCoy got him.
Duran
McCoy. Going to be hard not to mention him in the Player of the Week.
Yes, sir.
Conversation for this defense. Drops Jarman back at the 15, and now it's 4th and 9. And I tell you, we said tough position on the field if you're a speed offense.
Yes, sir.
You run the risk of something like that happening, and all of a sudden you're in a tough down and distance. Lee County needs to make a big play here. One stop to get off the field. Jarman throws that fade again. This time Lee County's ready for it. Kenyon Palmer cannot break it up. Hamilton brings it in. Perfect coverage, just out-muscled for it.
This man is a bad
Kevin Hamilton with his 4th touchdown of the game.
Hey.
Buddy.
He's a bad man. He's a bad man.
Lee County knew what was coming. They had it covered. 2 guys in position, and Hamilton went up and said, give me my football.
Couldn't do nothing with it. 6'4".
Showing some of that basketball skill. That's a young man that starts for the basketball team. 16-10 last season.
Oh, yeah.
Jarman now going for 2. They need this. Rose down 10 right now. Jarman looking, got nothing. Throws it late, and dropped. And that could come back to haunt. Jaden Grimes can't come up with it. And it's a 10-point ball game with 11 minutes to go.
Flag down on the field.
Oh, my goodness. You might get bailed out. I don't know how that's a defenseless receiver. That play was wide open. We'll see what the call is here. If it goes Rose's way, that's a huge break. They'll get another chance to try this. Jarman with nowhere to go finally found Grimes as he came open across the middle. The pop from that Lee County defender helped knock that ball loose. But I think they're going to say he was defenseless, and that's unnecessary roughness. That's my best guess. Jerry, what do you think?
That's the only thing I can possibly see. I mean, it's a tough one, man. There's been a lot of flags in this game that are questionable.
I haven't seen
both sides, though.
For a game that really hasn't gotten chippy, I don't think I've seen this many personal foul calls. And yet another one. So that's going to move it half the distance. So from the 1.5 now, Rose is going to get another chance to convert this 2-point try in this. I remember this moment in the game. I mean, you were still a 2-score ball game. They get bailed out with the suspect at best personal foul call.
Yeah.
And here we go. We'll see what Rose has in store for this play. They've tended to go to Hamilton from the Wildcat. Jarman is into the game. You got to follow number 3. Jarman's going to split out wide left. Hamilton is in all by himself in the backfield. Hamilton takes a snap straight ahead, and he's through and in. And as if it wasn't enough to get 4 touchdowns, he gets the conversion And it's an 8-point ball game with 11:11 to go in the fourth quarter. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back as Lee County comes back out on offense.
Pentair, empowering people to move water, improve water, enjoy water, so that people can live their best, healthiest lives. Lives with purpose. Lives with enjoyment. Lives that flourish. Lives with hope. Because at Pentair, we're not just about better water. We're about better life. Pentair, bringing water to life, for life.
All right, welcome back to first round coverage of the North Carolina 3 AA state playoffs.
We have a game.
Lee County on the road at J.H. Rose. J.H. Rose, man, they keep looking like they're on the ropes. Maybe they're going to go down, and number 3 just keeps showing up, making plays. Now, all of their points.
26 points.
26 points all by himself.
Man.
And, frankly, the rest of the offense hadn't done a heck of a lot else. All right, here's the kick. Oh, number 2 may get it. Oh, there's Tyreek McKendall going to get his first return. He's got a head of steam. Uh-oh. He weaves it back outside, and it could have been a huge play. They'll just have to settle for big. He's out across the 37-yard line. Lee County, 11 minutes to burn off this clock to get out of here with a W against a really, really spirited J.H. Rose team.
Yeah.
Who they don't know what give up is.
They got to show me they've got to show me right here that they can stop this run. I just see that a heavy doses of running right now. They got to show they can stop it.
Coach, I'm old school.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you stop it.
You're going to have to stop this run.
Rose running players out late. Let's see what happens here. They're going to get a timeout. A little confusion there. Clavon Brown was running on late. They'll take a timeout to save. I don't know if there was a penalty coming or just confusion, but while they talk about it, we'll take one last break and get back here and start this Lee County drive off right.
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce. Because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
All right, welcome back. Fourth quarter action here in this first round matchup. And looking at the scores across the state, this is the game. Nothing else really close.
Yeah, nothing else. Most of even blowouts.
This one's everything anybody could have wanted. 34-26 Lee County in the fourth quarter. 11 minutes to go. They're in the white, moving from right to left. J.H. Rose has struggled to stop the run at all in this game. Lee County just keeps going back to the passing game, and it's been hit or miss. All right, here's the hand. JoJo Jennings on first down.
There he is.
Into the secondary. He's going to pick up about 7.
There he is.
And goes down funny, that ankle. Jennings grabs hold, hoping it's a cramp, the way he's pulling his toe. But one way or the other, he's down, and that'd be a huge loss for Lee County if he's not ready to go right now. Now, in the short term, T.J. Johnson can come right back in there at tailback, and Rodney Ingram is no slouch either. Up, and I think it was a cramp. He bounces right back up. He says, I'm built from steel.
Listen, man, I've seen this boy play through everything. I'm so serious. I mean, the time him playing recreation ball, AAU travel ball, JoJo has always played up in his age group, and he's always be able to handle it. So I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing stopping JoJo. But JoJo, that's it.
All right, well, third and 4, and he just keeps putting on weight every year. Second and 4, T.J. Johnson into the game at tailback. Will Patterson from the gun. Rose walking defenders up to that line. Johnson with the carry.
What a burst there.
Oof, he did. He's sudden. And he's going to be out across midfield. Gets about 8 on the carry. Johnson, one of those players, man, on a football field that just never looks like he's max effort. It's so easy the way he runs.
Easy.
Long strides.
It's easy.
And you really have to have context to see how quick he's moving. T.J. McMullen checking out of the game. One of the better defensive or offensive linemen for Lee County checks out. Hopefully he's okay, but a late sub. like I said earlier in the telecast, Lee County runs about 10 offensive linemen in any particular game. Patterson fakes, tucks, throws it. Got Tyreek McKendall. McKendall dragging tacklers. Man, that's a man. 7 on the catch, and that'll bring up second and short. McKendall, you see him as an athlete. You look at the way he's built, and if you had to pick a position, you would think he plays tailback, he plays linebacker, he plays something. Yeah. But the fact that he plays wide receiver and does it so effectively is really kind of amazing. That is a big young man.
I want you to name me another junior wide receiver who can bench press 325.
You'd be hard pressed, buddy. All right, Patterson from the gun, hands to Johnson. Johnson picking his way. Now he picks up ahead of steam. There go those long strides. Johnson hurdles the defender and is dropped but not before he's down to the 11-yard line. 34 on the carry for T.J. Johnson. And there's a flag. It's coming back. Oh,
that's tough.
Wow.
That's tough.
Coming all the way back.
Penalties.
Oof.
Penalties.
You're going to get a hold there in the hole. Walk that thing back, and you go from 2nd and 4 all the way back. What's the call? Did they get the hold downfield?
I don't. I totally missed that one.
Oh, my goodness.
He's pointing it out up there.
They got a spot foul here. So from where they've marked this, they called this hold beyond the line of scrimmage, and I don't know who was holding. T.J. Johnson was just running over people. But anyway, 2nd and 11. 9:28 and counting in the ball game, and that's huge. Rose gets bailed out. I mean, Lee County was down in field goal range, and every point is critical at this point in the ball game. Patterson takes a snap, fakes, rolls right, has threw it behind McKendall. Unable to hook up, and this is 3rd and long. Rose trying to get off the field. And as long as number 3's out there for Rose, they can score on any given play.
I'm surprised we hadn't seen a lot of Tyreek McKendall on defense tonight, playing safety.
I'm a little surprised too. All right, Patterson lines him up from the spread. Ingram in there at tailback, I believe. Fakes to Ingram, now rolls, throws the screen, got some space, and he got work to do. McKendall dragging bodies. Look at Tyreek McKendall.
First down.
11 gets 14, and that's a dagger for Rose. You've got to make that tackle. Tyreek McKendall running through arm tackles in that secondary and converts an enormous 3rd down with 9 minutes to go in the ball game.
I think I've been saying it's coming, since right before halftime.
Yeah, but if you say it long enough, eventually you're going to be right, man. I'm not as impressed with you as you are with you.
I called it. I'm just saying.
All right, Lee County set up at the 35. Clock running inside 9 minutes. Tyreek McKendall with a huge play to convert that 3rd down when it looked doomed. All right, Patterson from the gun. Fakes the handoff. Going up top. Oh, there's a hold. Kenyon Palmer can't bring it in. Ooh. And no flag, I'm going to tell you.
Definitely
Jackson
hold.
Lamb in the slot.
Definitely hold.
Was grabbed by both hands by the defender as he ran past him, and they don't get the flag. Kenyon Palmer, he threw it to the outside shoulder. I think Palmer was looking inside, adjusted to it, not quite able to run under it.
Patterson definitely put that ball in a spot. That was a nice pass.
Well, only Palmer was going to be able to get to it.
Yeah, that was a nice pass.
And Palmer just unable to run under it. 2nd down after all that, but the officials missed Jackson Lamb being held. T.J. Johnson bounces it outside. Great play. Rose coming up. Great play by the Rose defense there. Jontrea Bradley with a big stop.
Back at 3rd down again.
3rd and long.
It's calling for some more McKendall.
McKendall bailed him out the last time. And now Lee County into that part of the field where if you get a chunk, the offense probably stays out there, but you're going to have to get positive yardage here. You're probably going to see the punt team. Patterson from the gun, takes a snap, looking, has his man.
Oh, yeah.
Tyreek McKendall into the secondary. And he's running all the way down inside the 12.
McKendall.
And that's the game plan. We'll just get in the 3rd and long, toss it to number 2 and let him do his thing.
Tyreek McKendall.
A special ball player for Lee County bails him out again and has him set up inside the Zaxby's red zone.
Got to give it to him.
3rd and long, and that's disheartening for this Rose team. So he lined up outside and just sort of rolled across the formation. Patterson faked the handoff, kept his eyes down the field, found him, and McKendall did the rest. 1st and 10. The hand, nope, Patterson going to keep it himself. He gets 7, 8 maybe down to the 5-yard line. 2nd and about 3 coming up. Patterson running the RPO a couple times, looking good doing it.
It's shocking me. Hey, looking a little Colin Johnson.
Patterson listened to all of these mouths around the Lee County program that say, well, he's just not as athletic as Colin Johnson was. But the RPO is a new wrinkle. We haven't seen much of that. And, that's danger when you're asking a young man to run the RPO.
Yeah.
Reading those keys on the fly with bodies coming at you is tough. He's run it 3 times, successful each one of them. All right, Patterson from the gun. Nope. Another pre-snap penalty. Man, I tell you, these officials have been front and center all night.
I wonder how many penalty yards.
They're going to get a false start on Lee County. That'll back them up. 2nd and 8 coming up now. Clock down inside 7 minutes. Lee County really got to be careful with the football here. You want a touchdown, but if you can get a field goal, you're still up by 2 scores. We're not quite to that decision-making process right now, but you don't want to go backwards. Patterson from the gun. Patterson drops, looking. Oof. It opens up. Patterson a step slow. Now he spins, and you can't lose yardage down here. You got to get rid of the ball, young man. Got to get rid of the ball. Clock inside 6.5 minutes.
Flashed open for a second. Jayden Marshall did, but I guess, Will didn't have his feet to throw the ball, but got to protect it right here. I'm glad he protected the ball. Definitely protected it.
So consecutive 3rd and longs converted by Lee County. They're going to try to have to do it 3 times in a row. Just out of field goal range right now. This would be about a 37-yard kick from where they're at. That is out of Hernandez's range. They need to get a good 4 or 5 yards to be comfortable with Hernandez trying a field goal. All right, Tyreek on the sweep. Runs through. They had it red. They were looking for him. You're back up at the 25, and they're going to go for it here on 4th down. Definitely. I'm sure. You got 4th and 21 coming up. 5.5 minutes to go. You can't kick a field goal from here, and you get nothing out of punting. So here it comes. Find Jackson Lamb. You keep saying number 2. This is Jackson Lamb right here. I'm telling you right now.
You going with Jackson?
As sure as the day is long.
I'm going to go with a let's see.
Interesting that Kenyon Palmer is not in the game on this play. Tyreek McKendall to the wide side, all by himself. Eli Garrison in the slot on the right. Lamb and Marshall down here. I'm going to change my vote. I'm going Eli Garrison. There's not enough space for Lamb to do anything. And there he looks, looking for Lamb. Can't find him. Plenty of time. All the time in the world. Throws it late. Got Jackson Lamb. And that's going to be close to a 1st down. We'll see the spot. He's got him at the 4. That's going to be a first down, sir.
That's a first.
You got to hold what you got. What do we got going?
Oh, he pushed him back a little.
He pushed him back a yard.
Oh.
What are we going to do here?
Man.
What's the call, Coach?
Oh.
They're going to turn it over. Boy, I tell you, that spot.
Ooh, that's a bad spot on that ball right there.
A huge play by Rose. There will be no.
That's a bad spot on that ball
replay
there.
review. Jackson Lamb working his way back to the football. Looked to us like he was at the 4. They're going to spot it at the 5. That's about a foot less than they needed to be. Lee County turns it over, and Rose is going to get a shot to come back and tie this thing up on this drive. 4:50 to go, down 8. The Rose offense back out onto the field. Sir, find number 3 and put 2 bodies on him. I don't care what happens. You're not going to let number 3 beat me.
You got to put a safety over the top here.
All right, Jackson Lamb is shaded that direction. Carlos Hancock has got coverage on Hamilton down at the bottom of the screen. Jarman drops, not looking that way. Stutter step. Oof.
Oh, safety.
Throws and caught at the 1-yard line.
Well, he might be a.
Not going to be a safety.
Quite,
Forward progress
quite.
to the 1 on a great catch by Clavon Brown. Jarman throws it out of there into dangerous territory. Brown would have been better served to let it fall incomplete. Now you're backed up about a foot from your goal line. Great play by Jarman to get it out of there before he was taken down for the safety. Great catch by Brown, but in the end you lose 4 in a position you really didn't want to do that. Jarman on 2nd down. Looking quick, gets it out there to Hamilton. Carlos Hancock with the stop.
Hey, defensive player of the game right now. I'm calling it.
Buddy,
I'm calling it, man.
Scoots up there.
That's a great play.
If you don't stop Hamilton, bad things can happen. Gets him and stuffs him at the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 14 coming up for Rose here. Jarman from the gun, clock down inside 4 minutes. Pumps, looking for Hamilton, throws it out there, and nothing doing.
Oh,
no.
Come on.
And that ball's thrown 10 yards out of bounds.
Man.
Wow. Hamilton with the double move. Jarman threw it out of bounds, and they're going to get pass interference on Carlos Hancock.
That's a horrible call.
Bailed out.
Horrible.
That's a tough one to swallow there.
Horrible call there.
That is a tough pill to swallow. Backed up to the 1 yard line, and they're going to be the beneficiaries of a suspect call.
That's tough.
Right there on the Rose sideline. They were lobbying for it, and they got the call.
That's tough.
Yikes. All right, Lee County got to regroup here. That'll take them from the 1 out to the 16.
That's a tough
1st
call
and 10.
there.
Clock stopped with 3:42 to go. Hancock, all those great plays, did get a little bit of body on him.
Yeah.
But, buddy, that's a tough one.
Non-catchable ball.
All right, Jarman from the gun. Hands to Brown up the middle, going nowhere. Stacked up, hadn't been there all day. That defensive front is stout. Landon Johnson on the tackle. They're going to give him 2, 2nd and 8 coming up. Clock becoming a factor. Now you got 3.5 minutes. And it's not necessarily that you have to run fast and score here, but you have to keep moving because if you have to get rid of this football, there's not going to be a whole lot of time left on the clock. Jarman drops, running up the middle, going to be sacked, brought down, dropped. That is Jennings. Delmas Jennings with the sack. Close to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down coming up. Rose needs to talk about it. They're going to take a break. We will take a very quick break and be back for these last 3 minutes.
Hi, William Turner, General Manager, Crossroads Ford Sanford. We're moving metal in March. I know you're thinking madness, but these deals are insane. Like thousands of vehicles in our network. While everyone else is pulling back with the discounts, we're not. Best price, best service, best experience, period. Come see me, the deal maker. Come and get that big town deal with that small town feel right here at Crossroads Ford in Sanford.
All right, quick update. Clayton has got past Southeast Guilford. That was the team in the bottom half of this bracket people thought might make a serious run. They are out. Clayton gets past them 31-17, so congratulations to Clayton. They move on. So things shaping up now.
It's like Cleveland going to be waiting on us.
Well, Cleveland will be ready. And Cleveland, I mean, to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Got to beat the best.
I'm going to call it right now that the winner of whether it's J.H. Rose or Lee County that goes up to Cleveland, the winner of that ball game is going to play Weddington for the state championship. That's my prediction. All right. 3rd and 7. 3 minutes to go. Wade Jarman. Oh, and the right tackle he knows it too. He grabs his helmet. You got to try and sell it, sir. You got to try and sell it. Point the other way. But number 61, Cyril Cooper. I feel bad because we haven't talked much about their offensive line, but the senior offensive lineman there draws a flag, and that makes it that much more difficult. 3rd and 13. Man coverage down here on this near side to Hamilton. Jackson Lamb shading over there. Jarman looking that way, throws it. Oh,
almost picked off again.
Miscommunication. He broke off his route and ran that out. Jarman thought he was running up the field. Carlos Hancock was sitting there waiting on it and almost sealed the ball game, but unable to come up with it. And I got to ask, Coach, I don't even understand why you're trying to pretend that they're not doubling Hamilton at this point. Just move Jackson Lamb over there where Hancock's at.
Easy.
I don't understand. You're not fooling anybody.
Berdisi is in right now for JoJo. The linebacker there, let's see.
All right, and Hamilton, they're going to move him around into the slot on the other side of the field, trying to get him off of Hancock. Ooh, little miscommunication. All right, they're going to flip the coverage. Oh, and they're going to quick kick it. Ho. Little trickery from Rose. Seen him do that a couple times on tape. That's an interesting point. I mean, you're counting on your defense. That ball rolls dead. Finally down. Clock is at 2:44 by the time they get to it. Oh, man, I think, buddy,
flags.
Yeah, but I tell you, on that, what do you like? I mean, you punt the ball with 2.5 minutes to go. You've had trouble stopping this run. If Lee County puts the ball in the air right here, I might walk over across the field. No, I'm just playing. If they don't hand this ball off on 1st and 2nd down, I don't know what they're doing.
Well, maybe that's why they pulled JoJo out.
Maybe
give him a little rest.
That's a good point
because he's been rolling. He's been running that ball tonight now.
All right, so Jennings is in there at tailback. They're going with a one tailback set. Patterson, and you can tell where he lines up. Let's see how far forward of Patterson he is. Now he's lined up almost next to him.
Yeah.
This ball's going to Jennings, and he takes it, and nowhere to go. Now he cuts it, reverses his field, coming back to the right, and nothing doing there. Rose knew it just like we did, and thought we had a first down or a timeout there. Nope, clock's going to continue. Something happened. They've stopped the clock. What do we got going on? The whistle blew. They stopped the clock. I have no idea why this clock's not running. Some home cooking going on, Jerry. Now they're going to wind the clock. 2.5 minutes.
I don't want to be the one
2nd
to say
and 10.
You know.
All right, now you got the full 40 on the play clock. This clock is going to run all the way down to about 1:55 by the time they snap this. They could get it down to 1:50. We'll see how aware Patterson is of his surroundings. 22 on the play clock. Clock down inside 2:10. And snaps it with about 10 seconds left on the play clock. Jennings running through people.
First
Jennings
down.
Across midfield. They're going to drag him out of bounds with a second little push there. Now they're going to stop the clock. 1:56 to go. New set of downs for Lee County as Jennings picks up a Pentair first down, and he never got moving.
Never.
Even in the third gear.
I don't think even, they tell you to tackle his legs, don't tackle up high. I think, look at his thighs.
That's a 16-year-old Earl Campbell there, buddy.
Either way, you're going to take a punishment.
You are.
Either way.
All right, play clock down to 15 here. Lee County not in any hurry. Clock down close to a minute and a half. Rose with one timeout left, but you gotta have to make a stop. Handoff is to Johnson. Johnson, they're trying to tackle the football. Pushing the pile. Now they finally blow it dead. They're going to give him forward progress, give him 2. That'll take us down to 1:20. And that 40-second play clock, man, looms large. Lee County only going to have to run a couple more plays here. Rose got that timeout in their pocket. Maybe would have been a good place to burn it there, but they don't. This is going to get us all the way down to about 45, 50 seconds by the time it's snapped. Patterson would do well just to slow down a beat, let a couple more seconds run off. 55. Play clock's at 8. Play clock's at 5. There you go. Hand us to Johnson. First down here is the ball game. He's out wide right. Johnson going to be close to a first down, pushing the pile. Helmet comes off, and he's going to be down within a foot or two of the sticks. We'll see. Rose got a favorable spot just a little while ago.
Oh, they cut it way short.
Well, Rose needs to get a timeout here. Regardless of what just happened, they're going to mark him a foot. No, they're going to mark him a foot short.
Oh, yeah.
Rose is called a timeout, and they've got a problem here. All right, we'll stay through this timeout. Let's do the math here. This ball on 3rd and a foot where they didn't get the favorable spot that Rose just did.
Yeah.
Rose is out of timeouts. So what's going to happen at this point is unless you get a very quick play, by the time they reset and run 4th down, you're out of time.
Game's over.
That's it. Lee County doing some math down there, and I know Coach Jacobs, Coach Bordeaux, Coach the rest of them. So I wonder who it is. I'm going to find out tonight who it is that's responsible for doing the clock math.
Yeah.
But unless something happens and the quarterback falls on the ball or something, this is going to run down to double zeros.
I think the crowd knows it.
Before 4th down. Well, they're not dumb.
Yeah,
this place ain't open. This place emptied out quick.
I think they noticed. So if we go off the crowd's reaction, then definitely next week's game will be Lee County.
Not with the early call, buddy. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Crowd,
don't do that.
I'm just if we go off the crowd's reaction.
This is high school football. Literally anything can happen.
Yeah, man.
All right. So they're gonna They got it 4th down, and man, they came out and measured, and it's a matter of about 4 inches.
We're gonna get some of Big Baby right here.
Well,
this has got to be Big Baby right here.
All right, we're about to find out.
Let's see.
Now,
nope, JoJo's back in the game,
and they're going to run it out of the gun. I hate this.
And
so
Rodney,
much.
we got JoJo and
well,
Rodney.
You've been asking for a 2-back set.
I've been asking for it.
I really wish this was a 2-back set with Patterson under center from the eye, but nobody listens to me.
Yeah.
All right, 36 seconds. This is for the ball game here. If Rose doesn't get a stop here, obviously it's over. Even if they do get a stop, depending upon what happens with the clock operator, it may go down to double zeros anyway. So Rose is running out of – they're going to need a minor miracle here. But if you don't make the stop on this play, nothing else matters. And, of course, if you're a ball carrier for Lee County, hold on to the doggone football. All right, Patterson from the gun. 2 backs for the first time all night. 4th and inches. Patterson. Everybody at the line of scrimmage for Rose. He almost got him. He almost got him. Almost got him again. But he needs to be careful, too, because he's taken that false step forward. He could just as easily get a false start call on himself, and you don't want that. So Patterson with the clock down to 1 second. They're going to take a delay of game, and are they going to punt this thing away? Or did they call a time? Yeah, they're going to call a timeout as the clock goes to zeros. They left that a little bit late. So not a bad idea with a couple of timeouts in your pocket. You know, you see it in the NFL all the time. Let's try to get him to jump, and almost did.
See if you can get the first down.
Yeah, the nose tackle there thought about it and didn't quite show good discipline. And now we come out. I say line up under center out of the eye, but that's not a team that runs a traditional quarterback or center quarterback exchange, so you don't want to do anything cute.
Some of the old school fans would love to see that,
buddy.
Just one time.
You don't. For 10 years. For 10 years, I've been crying about it.
Just that power.
I don't understand when you need a foot why you back up 4 or 5 yards from that foot. But it's one of those things at high school. There's only so many things you can work on.
So you have the Wildcat right now.
So
let's see what we got right here.
Well, the last time we were in the Wildcat, the snap went sailing by underneath the hands of Tyreek McKendall, and it didn't go well. So hopefully we get a good snap here. McKendall takes it. He's into the line. He's going to have the first down. Lee County's going to get out of the first round unscathed.
Yes, sir.
But, boy, they know they were in a football game. Your final score as we go down to double zeros here is going to be Lee County 34, J.H. Rose 26. And I tell you, nobody wanted to play this J.H. Rose team, and you can see why. Kevin Hamilton, 26 points all by himself.
All by himself.
Made this thing interesting and played most of the snaps on defense as well. Buddy.
So some history today. If you reminded me on the way down here, Lee County last trip to J.H. Rose has now been avenged.
So 2005 was the last time, or the only time that we're aware that Lee County has come to J.H. Rose. 2005, Jody Stauffer was the head coach at Lee County. They finished the regular season 6-5. Went on a 3-game run, including a win nobody expected against Southern Durham, and got to the Eastern Conference Finals against J.H. Rose. J.H. Rose, 56-0. So all you old hats, you're avenged. You're avenged. Lee County coming handling business, and Coach Bordeaux and his Yellow Jackets now on to bigger and better things.
Hey, next week.
Cleveland. Man, no rest for the weary. We will be on the road again next week.
Here's the rematch.
All right, we will take a quick break and be back with the post-game show. I'm Chris Delambert. This is Jerry Chalmers. It's been fun. Come on back and we'll put a bow on this thing. Lee County, 34-26, J.H. Rose. Jackets are on to the second round. We'll be back in a second with the post-game show.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. Hi, I'm David Fashee, and we are First Bank.
First Bank presents the post-game show on the NFHS Network. Brought to you by New Image Media.
All right, welcome back to Greenville. It's been fun. Rolled up here, made a drive with Lee County Yellow Jackets tonight, coming in here in the first round. Tough matchup, and everything they bargained for. We thought that in the end it was going to be tough for Rose to stop the run game with that big offensive line and those gigantic running backs. And in the end, it was just enough to get out of here against a team that's playing. Look, I'm going to say it. Number 3, Kevin Hamilton, J.H. Rose, is a high school superstar.
Man.
And I will not soon forget his name. He's one of the best high school receivers I've seen in years. And I'll be interested to see where over the next couple of years he lands, because that young man is special.
26 points on his own.
Yeah, and I mean, he's playing against one of the best defenses in the state with some athletes, and they game planned around him, knowing what was coming. Yeah. His running mate, Michael Allen, missed this ball game. Hamilton, it was all on him, and he came through 26 points to keep this thing close. But in the end, the balance of the attack with Lee County was enough to get him through. The question is that passing game clean enough to go very far in the playoffs? Because you got some worries. Rose showed how to stop this thing.
They really did.
Take away the seams, get rid of that screen, and make them try to do some things they're not comfortable with. It was rough. What are your thoughts on this ball game?
My thoughts? My biggest thought, JoJo. JoJo really came through this game. A lot of big plays on offense. A lot of times we would get down in a bad spot. JoJo, good runs, long runs. Defensively, the secondary, we definitely got to work on that secondary. And again, back to number 3, Hamilton. I'm amazed, man. I mean, I haven't seen nothing like that in a little while.
Oh, my goodness.
Man.
If your school needs a wide receiver,
man,
come up here. Right now, the word on the street is he's leaning toward Chowan or
we've seen him coming in the parking lot, so that may be a lot.
We did see a scout. Just saying. But if you're out there, it may take some creative stuff to make happen. But Kevin Hamilton, man, that is a D1 receiver all day long. Lee County knew it was coming, couldn't do much about it. But in the end, they get through this thing. Lee County, the first step, this team will tell you from everybody in the building, from the seasoned seniors all the way down to the freshmen in the building, they are playing for a state championship, period, full stop. This is a necessary step along the way. It doesn't get any easier. Cleveland next week is they showed what they can do. They came out and just put it on their first-round opponents. So it's going to be interesting as we move forward. We will definitely be there. Anything to add?
The rematch. That's all I want to say. This is a rematch from last year.
All right.
Can't wait.
Well, and you talk about rematches. You got this rematch. Mm-hmm. Lee County's looking a little bit past this rematch because they want another crack at Weddington. But, last year, if this year's Cleveland-Lee County matchup is half as good as last year's, you're in for a special ball game. So we hope you'll tune in with us if you're not able to make it to the game. I'm Chris Delambert. This is Jerry Chalmers filling in for Nathan Cochran. This has been the First Bank Post Game Show. I am Chris Delambert. That's Jerry. Peace.